I remember the first time I ever heard Lukey's voice. He said something that stood out so much. I'm like, man, if I ever get a chance to talk to this dude in an interview or just outside, I know I'm gonna get along with him because I seen this too. I remember this was the high school dance where I first found Frank and Dink, but I remember
Frank and Dink, yeah.
No, it gets better. It gets better. So I remember this huge crowd of white women just going crazy for this one song, Since You've Been Gone. And I'm like, damn, these white girls.
Since You've Been Gone.
But these girls were going wild, like how MOP would.
MOP,
Adding up.
It is the same. So you witnessed that before.
I wait. That's when I heard you say that.
Justification.
Like, that is some real shit right there.
That is, yo, oh my God. I saw two women crying and hugging each other. Hear you say, I'm like, yo. You are now listening to the Abyss Podcast with Carl the White Monk, Primo Jab, and Lukey Cage.
They'll be all right.
All right. Now we don't
I got some overtime. I need that shit. I got to buy diapers.
I could use that overtime.
Who you telling?
Now we can talk. Thank God.
Yes. Danny Brown said, my baby mama calling, talking pamper shit. Ain't no way babies could take that many shits. That's a lie. Babies take mad shits.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How the way to start the interview, guys.
It is. So boom, let's go ahead and get started. You know what I'm saying? This is 101 of issue of the Abyss Podcast. Carl, why do you have that Canadian flag hockey jersey on? Why do you have it on?
Because I often rep my homeland, and when we have a guest that also represents my homeland, I like to show a little bit of love. So
there you go. And also, it's the Women's World Cup. Canada won today.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they won. They did. And I got my USA.
Yeah, I saw you had the USA rapper.
USA, true indeed. So, yeah, but we got a Canadian brother on here. USA. Yeah. Pretty much, what you got on, bro?
Man, I got on this one of
Abyss
one
special merch.
Abyss special merch. Shout out Pounds. We kill everything we see. That should be out right now. But
Shout out
man,
Dave
I'm
Proch on that sweet art.
I had to have it. I mean, Proch went insane. You heard, I mean, come on, man. The man Proch he's an epic artist with an amazing vision. I mean, to make Pounds look like a mountain and all this stuff that's going on in here. As soon as I saw that image, I said, yo, I need that on a shirt. So
got mad love from Seth. Gets mad love from all the artists. Dave is our guy.
Absolutely,
although we allowed him to work with DMC because, we're nice.
Yeah, we allowed him to work with one of the most epic legends in hip hop.
I'm so happy for that dude.
Carl laughed.
That's hilarious.
DMC. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about DMC.
You better not. You better not. The case slapped all three of us down.
There's no slander for Run DMC on this podcast.
Never.
Hey, but Lo, check it out. He did say M's for the rhymes that are mine. M is not for the rhymes. M is for mine. Yeah. So he did fuck up on that shit. Remember that? M's for the rhymes that are mine. No. M and R are not the same thing. Anyway, we have a very special guest on episode 101 of the Abyss Podcast. We have from the desk below. My guy, how are you?
I'm honored, my guys. I'm good, man. Like I said, I've been watching y'all since episode 4, man. And I watch all media as my peers because I love interviews, but I'm finally glad I'm here. You're actually the very first hip hop underground platform to actually want me on the show.
Word?
And that's crazy. We're about the love. We want all of us to succeed.
And so indeed, and you were doing this before, and you got a lot of interviews of artists before they kind of blew up as well. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Word. 2018, you started this shit. I think the first interview was Kid Vicious. Then you went on to Stickman, PD Crack, and Rock from Helter Skelter, who's like 6'4". You know what I'm saying? Word. Shout out to all my tall niggas out there. I mean, a lot of good Primo jabbing on there with God Bless Beats. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Flea Lord, I got a lot of good guests before they moved up and hit that next level. Or you had like some veterans in there as well, man. 2000.
Yeah, you had a great roster of guests.
So indeed.
Honestly, I ain't gonna front. Like, it's kind of crazy that someone else does the homework on me. It's usually me doing it the other way. It's like, oh, he got the Kid Vicious one, and he knows. But
that's the easy one. Yeah.
But before, I always knew I wanted to do like entertainment of somehow. Like, believe it or not, I wanted to be a rapper. But I know what I want to hear, and I don't have delivery. I got the lyrics, but I don't got delivery. So I'm like, let me stop chasing women for a second, because I ain't gonna front. I've been chasing women since I was like
5.
50.
Oh,
well, I was a huge nerd. I got a friend. I was into fucking Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yeah.
Until like
me too. Well, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon not so much till later on. Like, I'm saying, yeah.
But but before From the Desk of Low, I had another podcast. It only lasted like 3 episodes. It was called Fuck This Podcast. It was like 27. It's only on SoundCloud, but I was inspired by Joe Budden. I'm like, if he can have like a gang of people just talking shit, why can't I do this? So I gathered, some girls I was seeing, some of my homeboys, and they just weren't really consistent until I broke it off with everybody and started to focus on myself. I'm like, well, what the hell can I do if I'm not going to do media, if I'm not going to be a rapper? And then it hit me. So the Kid Vicious thing, I'm glad I'm on a platform where I can explain this. So before the Kid Vicious thing, this is a very, very special part for my story. So in 2016, Royce the 5'9" came to my city. And I got VIP.
Tell them the city.
It was Calgary, Alberta, y'all.
Okay, Calgary. The Flames.
Yeah. God.
I'm sorry.
No, okay. You don't know. No.
Well, it used to be the Atlanta Flames, so we're as bitter as you are. Don't worry.
but we have plenty of flamers down here in Atlanta.
Oh, damn. Here we go.
Plenty of.
Lukey was ready for that one.
But they didn't go nowhere. I said,
no, we just got different flames. There's a difference.
And rainbows. Continue.
Shout out to the LBG.
Episode 101.
Shout out to them.
Absolutely.
Shout out to all my niggas
the
and my
alphabet
bitches.
soup.
Yeah, shout out to my niggas and my bitches. Yeah.
So in 2016, Royce the 5'9" came to my city and he did a concert there, and I got unbelievably drunk as hell. But at some point during the midst of it, I was backstage, and I ended up meeting him, his manager, and I remember this part randomly. I screamed out, "Where's Kid Vicious?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm right here, my G." So we took a picture and stuff like that. But shit. Here's the thing. I don't remember none of that concert except for Where's Kid Vicious. So the next morning, I'm online. I'm like, yo, I met Royce the 5'9", and I don't remember this. So, after 2 years went by, I had like first 4 episodes of me just talking to myself, but I took that shit down because that shit was so cringeworthy. I got a front. It was very cringeworthy. And then I remember sending out a bunch of DMs to Jim Jones, Pharaoh Monch, Cameron, West Side Gun, and none of them responded to me. But the one person who I actually met in real life was Kid Vicious, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, with you." And once he did that, I was kind of like in fan mode and just lit the fire in me. But I only wanted a crooked eye interview, and then I was gonna be like, I got my dream interview. It was done. So
you got it.
I actually got my. It was like episode 10 or something like that.
It's really early.
Yeah. Oh yeah, really. It's all audio only. Like I was only doing it with 2 phones before YouTube. So I remember I reached out to Razkaz, and Razkaz was like, "Yeah, I'll do an interview with you." I'm like, "Holy fuck, this is a legend right here!" Like I was like fucking mind blown. And then literally like 6 hours later, I sent that interview to Crooked Eye, and he's like, "I'll do the interview right now." So I'm like,
"Dang,
word." So after that, if you notice the timeline within those interviews, it's like 2 months that I didn't do anything because I was trying to figure out, well, what the hell am I going to do? And then I told myself, since Kid Vicious was the first artist to give me a shot, I'm going to go out of my way and make sure every new season that I start has a Detroit artist as the premier guest. So I found Ty Ferris because he had I was like shout out to my guy Ty. It's like I really got
shout out.
Like, I remember he was on. I covered his No Cosign, Just Cocaine 2. That's when that first came out. And then after I put this. This is what I love because this is where Primo comes into the picture right here. So I remember I put on Instagram. I'm like, hey, if you want to interview about your music, send me a DM and we'll get lit. And I think Primo was probably like the first person to send me a DM. He's like, yo, I see you doing your thing, man. Like, I see you got Matt Hoffa, you got Crooked Eye. And so this is where me and Primo Jab got connected. And this is where I want to give Primo Jab his flowers, because if it wasn't for him showing me this underground lane, because I only knew West Side Gun. I only knew Griselda. And I remember Primo said in that interview, yo, Lo, if you like that shit, you got to check out Flea Lord. You got to check out all these other
That's my man right there. Look at you repping.
So
yeah, he's all right.
So, and then, after that, like, I remember Primo Jab, I followed all these artists that Primo Jab used to post, like God Bless Beats, hey, yo, hey, Flip, you watching, my guy? Yo, we got to talk with my, because it's been fucking like 5 years, my G. Shout out to Bless.
Flip, we miss you.
But I like to say Primo Jab was the oracle for me. I was like Neo, if you guys know the main chicks. And
yep.
Okay, yeah.
Like the male oracle, where I got to clear that up.
Nice. So I will say this, though. You definitely found your niche, because
absolutely
what I've noticed is you have this incredible connection with the guests that you've had on. And it's something that I personally have been happy that we've kind of mimicked in a sense. In that your guests enjoy being on your show because of the research that you do and because of the conversations that you have with them. And for somebody, and I don't mean this in an insulting way, who has a very unorthodox voice for media, you tend to really get this loyalty out of the guests. And I follow you on socials, and I try to chime in and stuff, and you always get these great guests that you've had on that comment and love the motivational stuff that you post, and they fuck with you, and that says a lot. When you're an interviewer and you keep those relationships after the interview's done, that's rare. It's not a normal thing. Yeah. I promise you, there are some, but I don't think it's something that a lot of interviewers can really claim.
Because people come on more than one. They come on second, the return, third appearance. It's like a comic book. It's like a comic book.
But when we started getting guests that, I always set up, and we'll do the same with you, obviously, is a group for the issue number in IG. And we get, we were in issue 52 talking with PQ today and yesterday, and we still communicate with a lot of the guests in those groups because they'll think of something, and instead of sending it to one of us, they just send it to the group, and we, so we've kept those connections, and honestly, it was something that I was like, because I watch your socials and because I see the interactions after the fact with these rappers and industry people, it's something that I wanted for us. I wanted to be able to build those kind of relationships. I admire it.
So indeed.
See, that's the thing. When I wanted to get into media, I always figured, why would the interviewer burn the guest for that one interview to get some clickbait and then never be able to talk to him again? And plus, I didn't like what I was seeing in media because, people like Vlad, they claim they're a hip hop platform, but then they go interview a police force that has nothing to do with hip hop, and then they'll be like, oh, this person sold bricks, this person sold this. But it's like, well, I got questions about the mixtape. I have questions about what happened with this one. And no one's doing really that. People, I used to get insulted when people used to compare me to Nardwuar. I'm like, I'm not fucking Nardwuar. But
then, Nardwuar is fucking amazing. You're not giving nobody gifts.
No, and I will say he has a shtick, but again, like you, he does incredible research. Yeah, and it's one of the things that the guests are generally stunned because whenever they're in an interview with him, they go, "Oh shit, how did you know that?" And I've seen those same reactions when your guests are like, "Oh wow, this dude knows what he's talking about."
I'm just a general fan of, because this hip hop has always been there for me since I was home. So this is my connection where I like to always shout him out. And I still can't believe I could call this guy and talk to him. Shout out to my guy, Pharaoh Mach. This guy saved my life more than multiple times. There was a time where I first found podcasts. I just got out of high school. I was working in a liquor store and I was homeless. So I would walk around this rich neighborhood And I only had a shitty iPhone. I didn't have no music, but these podcasts. So I remember I found this Combat Jack show, and I remember finding like the
shout out Premium Pete.
Yeah, shout out to Pretty, been on my show too. Yep. So like after, you know, I found Pharoah Monch, that whole interview he did with Combat Jack, he broke down the War album. And when he played the song Still Standing, I remember being in that garbage garage just crying, saying like, yo, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. And then after all these years, I was harassing him for an interview. I'm like, come on, Pharoah, like, come on, Mr. Jameson, man. Like, I was trying to be real proper with it. But I remember he got me at the clubhouse one day, and I'm like, hey, this might be my only time to interview him. So I clipped it, screen recorded, put it on YouTube. But then years, like, I think like a year later, he's like, I want to do an interview with you, but I want to do something special. So little did I know, he had a band called 13 with Jack White's drummer, Daru Jones, and Anderson Paak's guitarist, Marcus Machado. And if it wasn't for him and his manager, Zoe, that's their only interview as a group. And I remember, like, so, like, it's kind of crazy how you can grow up listening to these artists and you have an emotional connection with them and you be able to talk to them and let fans know about, like, hey, this album's coming out. Because I try not to make it all about me and the connection. I want other people to be like, yo, I didn't know about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's cool to meet them and know, and they're not scumbags as well. I think that's if you would have met Pharoah and he was a dirtbag son of a bitch, it probably would have made you feel crazy. But since he was a genuine and good person, yeah, like it made everything full circle, probably, huh?
Yeah, I like how you said that, because I remember I used to look up to T.I. so much, and I wasn't drunk for this one. But I remember I went to the T.I. concert. I don't drink anymore for y'all listening out there. But I remember going to the T.I. concert and getting backstage. And I remember I shook dude's hand. He signed my CD, and I'm like, I'll pay you $100 to take a picture of you. And he's like, can't do it, partner. Can't do it. So I leave. Then all on social media, he's taking pictures with the hose. I was like, man, you ain't no kid of yourself. But yo, shout T.I., man. That was one person I really respected, and you meet him and just shitty at it. He looked like
I'm serious.
Yeah. First album, probably, you know, is Reasonable Doubt. But he signed a kid CD, and he didn't even look like he wanted to sign it. He's like, man, if I was a woman, maybe I can, you know, get the picture, but, you know, I'm not grouping out for you. I'm like, oh my God, T.I., please.
It's hard to find that good line between a groupie and a fan. First time I saw T.I., I met T.I., he was at Uptown Comedy Club, and everybody in that place knew the words to all the songs. And I'm like, damn, all the girls were rapping to each other. I got more snow than Buffalo. They was in each other's faces. I was like, damn, they know this word for word. I'm like, wow. And then like they had a stripper in the VIP, and it was her birthday, and she was 23. And little Duval said, "Happy birthday, you're 23." And he said, "I bet them titties ain't 23." And then she showed everybody her titties. And they was definitely fake. They was definitely like 2 years old. They're about 2 years old, titties.
Yeah. You know, it's wild, man. You know, I got it. Here we go. I got to chime in. You know, I've never had a bad T.I. experience. I've had several T.I. experiences, man. I coming up when I was cutting my teeth out here, earning my dollars and being outside for the first times in Atlanta, like I was working on video sets. One of the first videos I worked on was Be Easy. Then I worked on Rubber Band Man.
Trap music for y'all listening.
Yeah, all that album.
I didn't like that album.
That second album.
The second album was alright. The first album was better. First album was crazy to me.
Oh man, that trap music album. That was a hit, fam. There was a lot of heat on there. Not only that, it paid a lot of my bills. But I say all that to say, every time I ever met T.I., he was super cool. All his people were super cool. Shout out Country. Shout out Mac Boney.
PSC.
Yeah, all them dudes, shout out Doug, shout out Hannah, R.I.P. Clay.
What?
You know what I mean? That's when I first met.
Can we pause for a sec?
All of them.
What?
You've got to untwist your headset because your mic is rubbing against your beard, and I'm not going to be able to get any of that audio.
Oh.
Sorry, I sent a message to Primo Jab because I don't have a keyboard, and it was like 10 minutes ago. I needed to see it. So.
Oh, man, I don't even have my phone on me. It's in the other room.
Yeah, so I was trying to do it subtly. I didn't want to ruin the podcast. But
okay, hold on. If it's a pause now, I'm going to go get my phone so that I can receive these messages.
Hey, Lo, what CD do we have you? What CD did you have to sign?
The Kin CD, his probably best album.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I love King. King was a great time, too.
Man,
yeah,
that was an epic time.
That was an epic time.
I'm serious. He said, hey, he gonna need a track featuring Jesus and Jay-Z. Go on ball for a call, smile for the cameras, take your shirts off. And Beanie Man was on it. And like, oh my God, yo.
Oh, that song, I'm serious.
Yeah, it's a Neptune's beat.
Yeah,
I was working at Patchwork when he recorded that though. I didn't. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out Jason Jeter.
Yeah, yo, you like? I'm serious. Ain't better that. Oh, Carl, my audio sounds better.
Yes.
Hey, yo, boom! I look like I had a chin strap on, son. I looked at it. It was a little weird. I didn't even realize that shit.
And I'm sitting there watching it, just going like this, and all I was hearing is.
I remember the first time I ever heard Lukey's voice. He said something that stood out so much. I'm like, man, if I ever get a chance to talk to this dude in an interview or just outside, I know I'm gonna get along with him because I seen this too. I remember this was the high school dance where I first found Frank Dink, but remember
Frank Dink, yeah.
No, it gets better. So I remember this huge crowd of white women just going crazy for this one song, Since You've Been Gone. And I'm like, damn. These white girls these girls were going wild, like how MOP would.
MOP, yeah.
Adding up.
It is the same. So you witnessed that before?
I wait. That's when I heard you say that.
Justification.
Like, that is some real shit right there.
That is, yo. Oh my God! I saw two women crying and hugging each other. Hear you say? I'm like, yo. But I swear, 3 songs later, Annie Yep came on, and all the niggas was like, it was wild. It was insane. But I love that Kelly Clarkson song. I love it. You like the song though, Lo?
I ain't gonna front. It's hot. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah, that shit is hot, bro. I can't get. I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah. Well,
yo, I gotta
Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, I gotta front. I'm still like, I may be like in hip hop and stuff like that, but I'm still a huge nerd at heart. Like I still play Magic the Gathering.
Oh, what? I never played that before.
Oh wow!
I'm not even going to point to my backdrop as far as nerdism. So
yeah, I ain't played. I ain't played on Magic though, bro. I never did that.
I got a front. It's kind of fucked after. It's just a money grab.
Do you play D&D? You play D&D?
I used to, but I can't afford those books anymore, man. I can't do acting like that.
Yeah, D&D is wild, bro. Them games last for years.
Man. Yeah, man. It'd be like 6 years. We're still going to the Shire with my wife. Like, nah, man. Like, let's go get some pussy or something, man. Like,
another round of mead for me and my friends.
That's gotta be the clip
you
right
going
there.
Insane, man.
Yo, let's live life off this board, yo, and quit customizing your figures, yo. They be painting them and getting them all done and stuff. I'm like, yo, it'd be way too wild.
And the paintbrush is like a cat hair thin. It's like how
it's like one hair.
Yeah, it's like
y'all look wild, man.
It's deep. Pause. It's deep. Go ahead.
I like how you guys said about the relationship with guests, because what I like about your show is like you don't really ask like the general like questions. Like I watch other hip hop platforms out there, and you guys have this vibe where they come. And it's like they first meet you in a bar and like they all like, vibe with you. It's not like, oh my God, like tell me how you worked with Big Ghost. Tell me how you worked with Big Ghost. I swear it's either Carl that's Big Ghost or Hex Murder. I'm just going to say that right now.
It's not. But I will say it was definitely an intention. And part of it was because, there are a lot of platforms out there that interview people, but enough of them in this lane. And for us, we just wanted to add a different element, which was just people getting to know the artists and the producers as real people, because we're multidimensional. You know, we all have a lot of different interests, and so just having conversations. We always have questions prepared. I would say we all do homework, but none more than Primo Jab. The dude's an encyclopedia.
He knows a lot about hip hop. Period. Go ahead.
That's why
for young generation, encyclopedia is what we had before the internet.
It was a book like the internet.
But there was a series of books individualized by the alphabet. If you wanted to know anything about A's, there was a whole book for it.
Oh yeah, shit. Fucking, he said Hex Murder Carl is Big Ghost. Hex Murder. that shit was wild.
Yeah, Hex Murder used to be he used to be a guest writer on the Big Ghost website.
Yeah. You know, Hex has a credible story. I hit him in the D. I remember when I first found out Hex Murder, I didn't know about his accident until he said it to me in a DM. But I remember, I'm like, yo, should we do an interview? And he literally says, dude, I can't fucking talk. I'm like, oh, my bad. But, you know, after a while, I would ask him like random questions, and he'll respond with like some wild answers. I was like, damn, Hex, it was really like that. So it's worth my connection with Detroit. Detroit always had a near and dear place in my heart, even before the Kid Vicious interview, because I like to say, yes, Eminem did introduce me to Detroit, but it was Jay Dilla, Frank Dink, Black Milk that made me, Guilty Simpson, that made me really fall in love with that movement they have over there. Like Elzai is fucking
and it's continued with Sub, it's continued with Ty Ferris, Mickey Diamond. I mean,
I love it. I love
Mac Trip.
Yep, Mac Trip. They're still producing heavy hitters.
Yo, I still find that fuck crazy. When somebody said that, I was like, yo, so Primo Jab don't, but I understand because you know it's kind of lovey-dovey sometimes, you know. But like, yo, Primo Jab, you just gotta get fantastic.
Well, look, man, you know, and I will be 100% clear in saying that I have not given them a chance. No, I've not given them a chance. I can't tell you two of their songs other than that. Sorry,
you ain't heard Climax?
That's radio.
That's I mean, you ain't heard Climax?
No, I haven't heard. I've heard maybe one or two, but they just reminded me so much of like
the Tribe.
And everything. It was like
Dilla did a lot of Tribe stuff. Dilla did a lot of Tribe stuff. So like,
of course, that's how I went that way because of Dilla being a part of the Uma, and you know, then him doing the Slum Village stuff. I was like, okay, and it was just I don't know. That's just not what I was into. But I'm gonna go back and listen to it. Detroit, you know, cut me some slack. I'm gonna check it out.
I think
stop slandering me, Lukey.
I think
I wasn't slandering you. You didn't like it. Low.
I don't. Yeah, that's true. I don't.
Detroit was my favorite hip hop city besides, I think, New York for a very long time. Caltroit, the Black Milk Tronic albums.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. The Caltroit album wasn't, I can't say it was good. No, it wasn't. It had a lot of skips, really? but the songs that I liked was good enough to make it be like, yo, I love this album. But they had a lot of skips. I'm like, dang.
I like Danny Brown from around
Danny
that
Brown,
time.
Danny,
you know what I mean?
Welcome to Detroit mixtape series, great. But when he dropped Triple X, because I'm already a weird dude, Triple X was like, oh my God, what the Pot Blood?
Well, really, I got into Danny Brown off of Hawaiian Snow, the Tony Yayo tape.
Oh wow!
Okay, you guys know Danny Brown has a podcast too, right?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
I did see that.
Fucking hilarious.
It's amazing.
He's weird, but he's very fucking hilarious.
I love it.
You know, like oh yeah, house shoes. You found house shoes from
It's on your mom's house network, by the way.
Like
on YouTube.
Because when I interviewed House Shoes, he said that the first time he seen Danny Brown was in like a room of like maybe 15, 20 people. But he said like the energy in that room, he's like, by the end of this year, this guy's gonna be a fucking star. And now look at Danny Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember what's the album? The Whack album cover. You know, Lo.
Is it this one?
No. It's before that. Way before that. It was the Hybrid. The Hybrid.
Oh,
I love the Hybrid.
Yeah.
Man, greatest rapper ever.
Yeah, but the album cover was
on
so
there.
whack. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the album cover wasn't raw.
Yeah, right.
But he's like every day around 3, I'm on the couch like Oprah, or like, but I'm not Oprah. I'm selling dope, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. Danny Brown was going crazy on there, man.
He really was.
The video for greatest rapper ever, man. He got this. He's sitting there rapping in the trap. He got a fiend breaking down a copper pipe and everything behind him.
He got a song called "Trap or Die" on Triple X.
Yeah, Danny.
Yeah.
Oh, that man's insane, man.
Definitely. Detroit
insane
has
rapper.
Been, true indeed. Detroit has been one of my favorite hip hop cities. That's the thing we got in common, bro. We got a lot of shit in common. Except Pokemon, because I didn't get into Pokemon later. Remember we had the Game Boys with the lights on it?
Oh, the little worm light? Yeah.
Only reason why I played it because they had a light. They had the light. They had a light on it. And I was like, that light is cool as fuck, yo. So I'm on the bus. Like, why can't I kick somebody in the face with my Pokemon? Like, I gotta tell it. I gotta tell it to kick somebody in the face. Like, this is Final Fantasy.
I know I'm 10 years older than you, but I don't understand why that's not part of the pause game.
What? The
Pokemon?
The rim light?
Oh, it is. The rim. Oh, yeah. Pokemon.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
I see where. Okay, I see. We're not Jamaican, though.
Primo Jab, do you go around in Pokemon? I wouldn't Pokemon.
Oh, I see what you. But I be playing that Pokey game.
Oh, Carl, where would I live? Down near the beach.
Boy,
near the beach, boy.
If I wasn't from Jamaica, why would I wear this hat?
I wear this hat. Hey, yo, what?
Samson Simpson. I stick to my story.
That's half baked, isn't it? Yeah, half baked. Yeah. Down near the beach.
Yeah, that's the
Dave Chappelle.
You mean the game that you run, yo? Yo, that's smart.
That shit is ridiculous.
I like how Carl said that he wore the all red because he's Canadian, because for the average dude watching,
this is actually the Canada World Cup shirt.
Oh, okay. For the not so educated people, sometimes they would just get sued and be like, "Damn, Carl's a blood." No.
Yo, he is.
I mean, I've been mistaken at clubs before, so
yeah, definitely. Yo, hey, Lo, I was hosting the Jay Worthy show. Carl, Primo Jab, they came to support. Carl's in the front row. They got mad, like 15 motherfuckers throwing up blood, stacking and shit.
Black and red Pumas. I got a black and red hoodie. I got my fucking all red Toronto Maple Leafs hat or Toronto Blue Jays hat. And I'm just chilling at the front of the stage, and apparently everybody was cool with it. Like, yeah, I guess he belongs.
Hey, yo,
wear me the blood, so Big P, Big Five. I should be 5 days.
Yeah. big pie.
Oh wow, boy.
Yeah. With Elon Musk. Anyway, let's continue. Hey, yo, people that know, they know. But if you don't know, it's one Google away. It's one Google away. Sure. It is. It's one Google away, literally, man.
That's so boom, right. Everything is.
So boom, you got on here. I know you had the Mussolini on here before he blew.
Yeah.
Who didn't he have? That'd be easier for you to start the list.
John Connor. I forgot about John Carter.
Yep.
Because John Carter was the freshman. He was on the freshman. He was on the freshman top 10 list.
Yeah.
And where is he now?
Yeah. He was
boom.
He was the first artist to ever put me on an album.
That's what's up, man.
Oh wow, really? That's what's up.
I think I'm only on 2.
Your upcoming guest Mickey is the first one I've ever had put me on an album. So.
Man. Yo, see, like,
shout out to Mickey Diamond.
Yeah.
See, this is then what I liked about your show, because when most people watch a podcast, like, yo, I can't wait to go on there. But for me, I'm a genuine fan. But sometimes, though, when I seen like the Toshi episode, I was kind of offended. I was like, what the fuck would you have this guy on who, like, bad mouths like all these Griselda and all this shit? But then I seen Lukey give it to him. I'm like, oh, I ain't mad anymore. At least he told him straight.
That's why we had that as 7B. And technically, this would technically be our 102nd filming.
Yeah. But Toshi,
because we released 2 episodes week 7.
Oh,
and that was 7A and 7B. And 7B was actually because Lukey and I recorded that on IG with him and had it on our Zoom as well, so that we could broadcast it online.
Okay.
I don't even know what Toshi's doing. He live up there with you.
So, like, and one thing I always wanted to know is, like, because, like I said, I've been following you guys since, well, Carl, this is the first time I heard of you since episode 4, so we're Pro Dillinger. But for Lukey and Primo, you know, I known them earlier. So I remember when Lukey did the Fuck You Mean, and I still got that email. I remember, I think it was before the Conway episode or after the Conway episode. I was like, yo, I want you and Miz to come on my podcast.
It was Miz's fault. Shit. It was Miz's fault, yo.
But my question is, and you said this was going to be on the Patreon, but honestly, I don't really have $20 for like to find out what really happened. And I know you said you would put on Patreon, but I bet you everybody else wants to know, and I'm glad that nobody else asked. So, Lukey, what the hell happened with the Fuck You Mean podcast? If you want to,
and we never did put this up on the Patreon, so
okay, wow,
so you didn't miss anything there. But go ahead, Lukey, the floor is all yours.
Okay, here, me and Ben are a lot alike. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I don't think we're meant to be business partners. I think we're meant to just be friends. Miz was going through a lot. Because me and him bump heads. We bumped heads because of Miz. I think me and Ben bumped heads because of Miz. Miz don't trust nobody. Miz has a lot of issues mentally that are not bad. But you are only the energy that you present to people. You know what I'm saying? Like I said this before. Like, and if you're giving me that energy, that's who you are to me. So we bumped heads a lot. We bumped heads early. It was my idea to do the podcast. Shit got changed. They wanted to make it this type of thing. So I kind of gave up on it early and said, okay, y'all just do whatever you want. I'm just going to stick to it to get a bag, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So Miz just kept on being negative, man. Like, it was wearing, I didn't know how much it was weighing down and bearing down on my soul, bringing me down as a person, being around so negative, so negative. I was in a group called The Fumes. The Fumes is an acronym for fuck you motherfuckers, everybody sucks. We were negative about everybody. We didn't like anything. But when they moved, one guy moved to North Carolina, the other guy, he moved to somewhere else. When I stopped hanging around them, I realized I was much more positive, upbeat. My energy was good. Whenever we didn't have the podcast to Fuck You Mean no more, my energy automatically became better. I was going through a lot at the time. Check it out. I didn't think I told nobody about this, but I had an incident where a customer came into the store, where I worked at, and he pulled a knife on me, and I had to shoot the nigga at the train station. Then my ex-girlfriend, who actually got pregnant, she had a miscarriage, she died. So all through that, they were arguing with me about clipping my toenails on the podcast. And like, that's the most disgustingest thing you could ever do in life is clip your toenails. I'm like, what? So we're arguing over that. So I'm like, I just want the sound to sound better on the podcast. Cool, but I'm not into that right now. I got a baby on the way. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. My ex-girlfriend, who I love so much, man, I fucking died. I had to shoot at a nigga who put his dick out on me at the store. All this shit is happening. Give me a break. Please just get off my back. So Miz cussed me out, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. He's not one of the guys. He's one of, okay, people out there say they can talk to you any type of way, then be friends the next day. Nah, motherfucker, think about what you say, because sometimes you can't take that shit back. So that's what happened. He said some foul shit to me. I said some foul shit back. Not really foul. It wasn't really that bad at all. Then I said some stuff bringing up race with those two. I said, yeah, and it offended both of them. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it was true. It was my truth. But after that, we stopped. And they was mad about me clipping my toenails in the podcast.
There were some episodes where I noticed that you would be the peacekeeper and Miz would be like, wow.
That's bad.
Yeah, but that's bad. There's times where you're like, all right, guys, let's change the subject here.
Oh, yeah, just let the artist talk. He'd be long-winded. But it did work out great. Like I said, I let that beef go. Much love and respect to Ben because he's an awesome person.
Yes, sir.
Great. He's a great dude. Miz, I just hope he finds peace. Just like a la Preem. I think that he's doing good now. I hope he's doing good now. But it stopped. It stopped for a reason. And we argued almost all the time, all three of us. Matter of fact, Miz put me against Ben a couple times talking about he's trying to do this. No, Ben is a great, honest person. We have to, when we find good people, just like I found Carl and I found Primo Jab, you have to love them and trust them because they trust you. You know what I'm saying? They're not ever giving us a reason to distrust them. But some people don't trust people because their trust has been broken so many times. And that's how I feel Miz has been. Because Miz got a lot of money and people probably used him, or he had a bad relationship, that shit went sour, and he's using that, or that's internally affecting his way with friends or new people, something like that. So that's what kind of happened. But like I said, those episodes we had argued almost 3 times a month. Me and Carl and Primo Jab ain't ever argued.
Yeah, no, I think like the most y'all have got into it was like, I think it was probably like the Ghetto Fabulous debate, but I think that was about it.
Why are you going to do that? Why are you going to do that, Lo?
Okay, that is not even an argument that we have. There would be an argument over like, I'm not doing a podcast this week. I'm quitting the podcast all the time on the fuck you mean. This right here, we never got to a point where we're going to quit the podcast. But I'm going to tell Primo Jab and Carl this right now. If there's ever a time where this wears on your soul or wears on your mentally, we could take a break for each other, for each other's friendship. I don't want to ever again lose a friend over this. I feel like we're friends.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, and here's what I meant to tell you, Primo Jab. I meant to tell Primo Jab. We are missing on the scheduling. We got to take a week off so we can go to Carl's house and give God Bless Beats on the drums. Forgetting that. Yeah, that's what I remember that. Yeah, we need to get. We're missing that on the schedule. I really need to get to Carl's house, get in the hot tub, bring the drums. Yeah, word, that type of shit. Yeah. But I never want to lose a friend because I genuinely believe Ben is my friend still. You know what I'm saying? I still love him. I still pray for him. And that's what happened with the Fuck You Mean podcast. But anybody out there, I got offended about this shit right here. I'm sorry, yo. Not really. But yeah, boom. You rocking and rolling.
It's my fault.
No,
I wanted to know. It's
honest.
my fault. Blame it on
No, and I think that was an honest account of it. When we first talked about it, you and I, because I met Lukey at work. And,
this is wild, man.
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought you meant over the internet.
No. So all 3 of us are in Atlanta, and I met Lukey at work, and he found out that I liked hip hop, and I really wasn't tapped into any of the new underground Abyss stuff at all.
You do Crime Faces though. That shit was wild.
I knew Crime Faces. Yeah. But yeah, definitely Doom. And so he had put me onto the podcast, and I was a huge fan of Da Fuck You Mean. I definitely noticed that there was tension and a negative kind of aspect to some of what Miz was talking about, but I don't know the dude. I've never met him. He blocked me before I could even start to follow him. So, but it was one of those things where I just wanted like the content. I got into this rabbit hole now, and I needed more.
Yeah.
And so but yeah, it's I think when you explained it to me originally, Lukey, you were still really bitter about it. You were still really upset about it.
I don't think I was
I
bitter.
definitely think you were fair in your depiction.
Bro.
Yeah.
And when you brought
it was still fairly fresh.
Yeah, but I was just, it was just really.
Because you guys had just stopped for a couple months.
I don't think the baby was born yet.
No. It was just a couple months after the last episode.
When I saw Carl come in the back room, because I was grocery manager and he's my boss. He was my boss. So I saw him come in the back, and I had the Crime Faces shirt on because you could wear whatever the fuck you wanted to wear at that time.
What hood is this?
Yeah, and he had a smile on his face. I was like, this is the new manager? Oh, shit. And it kind of worked out because I come in early all the time. And that allowed him to get out of there a little bit earlier. A tad bit earlier. You know what I'm saying?
So I had a long drive.
Yeah, and I lived like 15 minutes away. So it kind of made a good work relationship into a personal relationship.
But I'd never run out.
Do it.
I'd hang out and start breaking the truck down with you for a bit.
Yeah. Sometimes he leave on later than he's supposed to leave. I'm like, you still here? Wait. But yeah, because we be talking too. You know what I'm saying? But I really don't like those guys do no work because they got good clothes on. You know what I'm saying? I don't got, well, I do. I was wearing Champion every day. But anyway, That's what happened. That's where I met Carl. He told me he's offered to do it. And at first I was like, man, I don't want to go through this shit again, man. Like, boom, like, well, whatever. Because I was feeling so much at peace. And I didn't want no peace to...
you don't want nothing to come in and wreck your peace. I understand.
Yeah, that's why sometimes I don't revisit the relationship I have with Ben. Because if I'm feeling this good now, why go back?
Bring you back down.
Yeah, I don't think Ben will bring
take
back
the
down.
chance.
So right. I don't think he will. That's just me. Ben is not a bad person whatsoever. Ben is probably one of the most greatest people I have met. Because just like Carl, he believed in me. Just like Primo Jab, he believed in me. Just like DJ Dread-Eye, he believed in me. Just like Bar Son Jones, that's Young Dirty, he believed in me. You know what I'm saying? So they believe in me. And that's more than a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Just like the guests that come on your show, Lo, they believe in you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they come on the show. They like you. They see something in you to want to come back on the show. So those people that we have to hold them dear. And sometimes I feel guilty for not revisiting that relationship. Sometimes I feel like, man, I don't know. But I know that I want our kids to play with each other. I really like that. Ava and JC to play with each other. That'd be cool.
And I wanted to make one correction to the really awesome intro that you did for episode 100, Lukey.
Right.
So,
oh yes.
It was never that I didn't want to be on. I offered to produce it only because I didn't think I really deserved to be on. I hosted a podcast before. I don't mind being on camera, and I obviously love to hear myself talk. but I didn't think that I really had a spot on the podcast because I didn't think I knew enough about the current lane of hip hop. And I've had but I'm glad that you said if you were going to do it, I had to host it with you because I think it really spurred me on to do as much research as I do, and it also kind of proved to me that I absolutely do belong up here with you guys. I knew
from the start. I knew from all the conversations we had. I knew from the nerdy shit that you had. This motherfucker makes custom-made lightsabers. I'm like, yo, this is my A-like right here. This is like, dude, really, yeah. Like, he really yeah. I don't want to say Carl's like a big brother because I feel like we like the same age sometimes. Yeah, that shit is beautiful. Yeah, and he has a custom case for it. Yeah, so that's the reason why I knew that it'll work. And plus, we say funny. Well, we all three got 3 different personalities. So
but good sense of humor.
And see, that's what I like about it. Cause I like how I try to be as friendly as possible with people in media or entertainment, whatever you want to disparage it. Cause we're all in media. So I never understood why some media, I only really had one media personality that was a complete legend, like tell me to fuck your inspirations. And I ain't gonna front. I had all this dude's DVDs. I had all these magazines about that. I think he did some magazines, but I remember he did Forbes DVD. And I remember I was always giving him praise. I was like, yo, he ain't gonna watch this. I used to be like, yo, Doggy Diamonds, man, you one of my
I knew you was gonna talk about that. Let's go.
I gotta let the people know, man, because he's still taking shots, but I'm not gonna go.
Really?
He just, I don't know what it is, but so I'll let it go how it. So he made this. We had each other on Facebook because I was trying to, build my relationship with him. I'm like, yo, you were inspiration. You were one of the reasons I got into media. Then he made this status where he's like, all these fake ass media personalities fail to show me love. Nobody ever showed me love or gives me my flowers. And I remember I commented, I'm like, dude, I had you on the show. It's all over my statuses. Then I started tagging him. I'm like, I gave you love here. I gave you love here. I gave you love here. He said, fuck your inspirations. I don't give a fuck who I influenced, and fuck you too.
What?
That's literally what he said. I still have those screenshots, but this is the only thing how he knew he didn't.
Remember when you hit me and told me that he said that too, man? That shit was crazy.
I was fucking like, this is somebody I look up to, and you influenced me, and you're saying fuck your influences. So, but this is how he knew he didn't fuck with me. We weren't following each other on Twitter. He goes and looks me up and then blocks me on Twitter. And I got a burner Twitter, just to look at my
Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin Durant. Yeah, buddy.
Look at your ex. Go ahead.
But he's like,
little good old scumbag boy.
But it's like, I think it's because he said Fourth Disciple was his most favorite producer, and my highest interview is my Fourth Disciple. It's the best Fourth Disciple. It has more views than his. Mm-hmm. So I think he kind of felt away because he's the quote unquote interview kin. But it's like, how are you the kin if you're not embracing your soldiers who looked up to you, who actually gave you praise, and you say fuck your influences? So that kind of influenced me more to be more open to upcoming media personalities. Because when I forget who it was, I used to look at them. I think it was Menu Melody. Shout out to my guy Fade Rays, but I used to look at this guy as competition. And then when that whole Doggy Diamond things happened, I had to reset myself. I'm like, if I want to be the change in media, I have to break what my influencers been doing.
Yep.
So indeed. I agree. Totally agree.
And this is why I have a great relationship with Sunez, Salim. He did chopping up with Conduit. My guy Elliot Wilson. I still find that fucking crazy. You know, Premium Pete, DJ EFN. There's a lot of personalities that I really got to know as a person outside of just doing the interview. And it's like, when I see you guys doing it, I'm like, man, like I love when you guys cover underground artists. But part of me wishes, like, man, I kind of want to see them like interview like Pharoah Monch or like Royce the 5'9", or like, you know, Lukey, get Conway back, or let Primo talk some shit to, or like Carl, like it would. But I was curious about that. Like, how come you guys really don't have like established artists? Like the Will.i.am episode, that shit was fucking amazing. You know, you guys know how big that. I don't even have a Will.i.am.
Shout out Will.i.am.
He went on other,
And shame our YouTube won't ever show how many views we actually had, because we had a ton of views when we were on our previous channel, but decided to start our own YouTube channel and separate from Crime Faces. He was trying to do a lot, and we were throwing the algorithm off, so we decided to start our own page, and we lost a ton of views.
But that like, when I seen like you guys interview like Will.i.am, I'm like, dude, this like that's somebody who went diamond. You know how rare it is to go diamond in this era?
Mm-hmm.
And he sold out Wembley Stadium
3 times, was it, Luke?
Yeah, 3 times in a row.
Died in Mercedes,
Friday,
like,
Saturday.
Next level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and he did a song with Britney Spears.
He just did, yeah.
I got an answer for you for that, Lo. I got an answer.
All right.
So I think a lot of the intention and the mission behind this particular podcast is trying to shine that light into this abyss, into this, what Lukey has called the abyss, right? This bottomless underground that what people thought was underground, guess what? It goes deeper. It goes way deeper than that. And a lot of the names like you think of were already getting interviews. They were already seen. You could already find stuff about that. But just like, you know, like I've told you previously, there's so many names out here. There's so many crime apples. There's so many, I think I want to name a bunch of people, but like, okay, sure. Mayhem Loren is underground, right? But then you got Adonis, you got Crime Apple, you got Starker, YL, you got, you know, Uncle John, you got, you know, Jay Nice, Rush, all these people. You can keep digging down, and there's so many people that are down here. And I just mentioned a handful, and there's 80,000 handfuls past that.
Oh yeah, Jock King the Divine and
Jock King,
Vegas 7 the Ronin upcoming.
You know, Josiah,
killers, killers. Yep.
You know, all of these people. Shout out Zumo.
Riggs and Mooch.
But yeah, exactly. You see Cousin what I'm saying? Stiff, Cousin Feo, you know, all of these people. We could keep going. We could spend 20 minutes naming names without repeating.
It's crazy.
And that was the whole, I think, intention behind me as I kept on watching what we were doing or watching what was happening out here, you included. I was like, look, you know, there's an actual segment that really needs the light shine on or shown on them. And they're doing incredible work, and we're all fans of their music. And that's what this podcast became, was the opportunity for us to really put other people on and keep on passing that torch and showing that love to everybody else who's out here that, they're working and they need to understand, like, yeah, people hear you, SD-Nac. Yeah, people hear you, Ice Lord. People hear you, who else? Mickey Diamond, all these people that are doing crazy dope shit. So that's why I don't think you'll see somebody like Inspector Deck, for example. Now, don't get me wrong, we'd love to have these people on here,
and I would add a preface.
But it's just, what I mean?
I would add a preface to that and say that if we were going to have somebody that's majorly established, it would more than likely be due to a connection to the underground that they have.
Yeah.
So
it would have to be something
if we were to do a DJ
Muggs,
it's because he fucks with the underground artists.
Exactly.
If we were to do Method Man, it's because he reps out,
Buck Wild from DITC.
Fat Joe, any of the people that are currently, mega famous, but
legends,
are directly connected to this abyss. Then we absolutely want to have them on the show. So it's not that, but the intention of the show is to shine on the abyss. And interviewing Eminem isn't necessarily really going to do any of that for us.
It'd be fire, though.
But it'd be for clicks, and that's not...
Yeah. I can only imagine what Lukey would ask this dude. How much cocaine you do with Chris Ogman? No. But like... I like how you guys pointed that out because, honestly... I think last year, I was going through some shit of, dad passing away, moving, all this shit. So I kind of took a break from media. But I kind of beat myself up over that because I missed the upcoming of Umbrella. And it wasn't till I seen episode 4 with Pro Dillinger on the Abyss podcast. I'm like, you know what? I seen his name come up more than once and he's actually getting interviews. Let me check in. And then you guys, I'm going to give you guys all the credit for this one. You guys introduced me to Mickey Diamond. It wasn't Pro Dillinger. It was when you guys had him on and his energy. I was like, oh, shit. I like this guy's. I love this guy's energy. Big pause. But you guys, when you guys covered the Umbrella, like I knew Snarty and Jay Royale before they joined
Umbrella.
Yeah. But when you guys.
Snarty,
and when you guys.
Snarty always been down.
Yeah, like IMT2. Like I remember, shout out to IMT2. They had an album. It's a pair of producers that had a compilation in 2019 that really put me on to Rim, Eddie Kane, Snarky, K Burns. And
K Burns.
I like to really credit those two producers right there for showing me more artists because I'll give anybody a listen and like. It's kind of crazy how when you can watch an interview from someone, never hear any of their music, and after that interview, like,
that's like it.
Yeah, and I want to hear what he has to say in his music. So I like to give you guys all the credit in the world for showing me the Umbrella Collective because you guys have. Imagine if they become bigger than Griselda, you guys can say we covered all of it, and we got the most Pro Dillinger interviews.
That is true.
I told Pro Dillinger in the joint in the group message. He's our Puff Daddy to TRL because Puff Daddy was on TRL more than anybody.
Here's some background that was a little Bow Wow or something. Or no, that's 106 in Park.
106 in Park.
Okay.
Little background information about why I asked Pro Dillinger to come on the show. He was on live with DJ Beans. I know you had Beans on the show before. Yeah,
and, shout out Beans.
Yeah, and so he's talking about rapping over vocals. And he said, man, I'm going to rap over my vocals. Man, I got a problem with it. And so Beans said, that was whack. And I put it in there, that's for cornballs in the chat. And then I said, yo, come on the show and let's argue about rapping over vocals or not. And he's like, man, you got to understand, most of these sound systems are shitty as fuck anyway when we go to these clubs. So if I'm going to rap over my vocals, I'm rapping. Not like you're not going to hear me say my words. Like I'm gonna say it to insinuate my vocals. The sound system's good. I don't have to do that. But if the sound system accentuate, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I kind of changed my mind about it. You at a shitty place, but he don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? And so he thought since the last podcast that we were gonna come on there and kind of like attack him You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I guess he had his fist up like, I'm ready to, because you know, Pro will fight back. Yeah. Pro will throw them shots back. He's funny. So like, but we didn't talk about that because there is no need to talk about that because the DM, he said, yo, these sound, and I kind of agree with them. A lot of the sound systems are shitty, but then we have places like Al 5, the Roxy, other places where people are rapping over their vocals. They don't need to. They're not even rapping. They're not even saying nothing.
Because those venues have great sound systems.
They got good. Yeah,
Dipset. Sorry.
Oh, Dipset. Yeah, Dipset. They didn't need to.
Yeah.
They didn't need to.
Yeah, that's how they lost the verses.
Yeah. True indeed. But one of the reasons why Pro is a legend now is him going outside with that blowhorn and rapping them shits.
Pal and Chelsea. I remember that when
Chelsea Music Hall. Yep.
That is a legendary moment where he went outside with the blowhorn, and that was better than him performing any music. That shit was like, the show's over, I'm gonna give you a show. That was an epic moment right there.
It was a moment in time. No. But we had gotten video footage of it because we had him on to review the show. That was, I don't know, maybe the third time he was on or something. I've lost count.
He's been on a total of 5 times.
It was kind of this perfect storm sort of for us being very early on in the podcast and having him on. But that conversation was incredibly poignant because he went through and discussed how, he hung it up. He was done. Mm-hmm. He had given it so many opportunities and it just wasn't doing what he wanted it to do. And his girl said, just give it one more shot, but do it your way. Fuck all that other mess. Do it your way. And he said, you watch, the umbrella's coming. This is going to be a thing.
Sure did.
And it was this proclamation on a show that like 50 people knew about. No one was really watching us. But he made that statement, and I don't know whether that helped at all. Sometimes when you say something out loud, you speak it into existence.
Yeah. That's true,
but he's put the work in, and events like that Chelsea Music Hall where they had the whole umbrella represent, and it was such a crazy cool show, but then got fucked up at the end because of time, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna give you what you paid for." And I mean, one of the most epic video moments I've ever seen. I mean, that shit's amazing.
That was it really was. So umbrella.
And like when I pay attention to y'all podcast and I pick up like little things that I was saying in my head, I'm like, I can't believe Ghostface said this to him. So Primo Jab, I was curious, like, did Ghostface, like, when you really went up to him, was like, yo, my bad, my brother used to smoke a lot of dust back in the day. Did he really say that to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were backstage at the Source Awards, the Miami Source Awards. This was another one of my first jobs, working on set. I was actually an intern then, so this was 2003-ish or 4. We were backstage. I was with my cousin, the infamous Jason Staten. We went backstage. Yeah, so Jason knows the Wu. He's known them for years from the beginning. That's how I got my first Wu-Tang tape. So we backstage, he's back there chopping it up with RZA, and all of a sudden, Ghost walk up, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Ghostface Killer. And my cousin Jason Staten, for everybody who knows him, they know how Staten moves. Staten's just like this nothing phases Staten. Staten's always just kind of a cool, calm, collected, analytical dude. So he sees Ghost.
He's like,
lyric? Yeah, he gets shouted out at the end of Wu-Tang Clan, Ain't Nothing to Fuck With. That's Jason Staten. But so Jason was talking to RZA, and then he sees Ghost walk up. He's like, yo, Ghostface, what's up, man? Or he's like, what's up, Ghost? And Ghost just kind of looks at him, stares at him, and he's like, yeah, hey, it's me, it's Jason Staten. He's like, oh shit, Jason Staten, no, my fault, man. Pardon me, God, I did a lot of dust back then, man. I know it's you, my man. And after that it was love, but he was like, he said, pardon me, God, I was on a lot of dust back then. That was epic. When I heard him say that, my mouth dropped. I was like, oh shit, Ghostface really was on the dust.
See, I honestly did not know that until I found out later in the Wu-Tang rabbit hole, because I remember Raekwon or somebody did like, yeah, we was on dust. I was like, what? You guys were doing hard drugs?
Shaheem got a Dust Juice song.
Yeah,
Shaheem, the Rugged Child.
it fucked me up when I heard that too. Like, yeah, like I kind of figured like, some of the affiliates would do something like that. But when I actually heard like race, I'm like, holy shit.
I mean, ODB, we kind of knew from the get-go, though, right? Come on, no one was.
Hey, man, they lived life, man. They was
that guy was inebriated.
Yeah, they were partying, man. They were living life, man. Hold on, Lo.
Supreme Clientele.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Her Supreme Clientele was done on Dust.
Probably was. It's epic. It's an epic album. Yeah, I love Nutmeg. I don't care. I don't care. Well, this is what I was going to say. You going to stop interviewing us, man, because I didn't bring you on here to be asking us questions and doing interviews.
No. Hold on.
Before you start, it's like a Marvel crossover. It's like a Marvel. It's a Marvel team up. It is. Right? That was the both point. Stories. It's a crossover. No, I get it. But that was the whole point. But before we stray too far into Lo trying to do his interview of us on our show where we're interviewing him, I want to ask you stuff. I want to talk about you, man, because like I said, I wanted to bring you on here because, and we've touched on it a little bit before, and I think those people yes, Lukey, exactly. Those people who are familiar with you and your illustrious career, they'll already know what I'm talking about. But man, you've come a long way in this lane. You've done a lot of things. You've been the guy with his ear to those voices that you were asking us about, as far as like the established people. Like, you're one of the names that they are going on to. You're doing those shows. You got interviews with Keith Murray. You know what I mean? You like these are top-notch names. Like you said, Pharoah Monch, Jim Jones, like all these names that you were saying that you wanted, Crooked Eye, you got those names. And not only that, back when the landscape, I think, for people that were even doing hip hop the right justice, not just these little fluff pieces. Oh yeah, tell me about your album. Oh, it's about to drop. All that little dumb shit. It was you and it was Combat Jack. Rest in peace. You know what I mean? And you always were proud to say that you were inspired by Combat Jack, that's how you got into this. But I mean, you were one of the main names, man. You were one of the main people doing this. So that's why I wanted you here, because you are definitely somebody who's a pillar out here, man. And you've come a long way. I wanted to give you your roses because, like you said, you've come a long way from trying to ask people to do stuff and your voice becoming more confident and your interview style becoming more confident. You've taken chances and had these conversations with people, and they honor you, man. A lot of people are happy to come and sit down with you. Fourth Disciple, I mean, you got all these people, man. So like I said, man, I just wanted, that's why I thought this would be a dope episode, crossover episode, giving you your roses. But anyway, Lukey, go.
Mm-hmm. How do you do it?
Like, what do you mean? Like, how do I do the interview, or how do I get them?
Yeah, how do you get people? How do you know what I mean? How do you get their names?
That's
why I just said, how do you do it? It's like when the aliens come and they ask you why. You just got to just say, I mean, I know Stickman, that was a pretty cool one. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. It's crazy when someone tells me they listen to my shit. I still find it crazy.
I'm a big fan of Dead Prez. I know Skips was a Dead Prez album. If not Let's Get Free, it was Revolutionary but Gangster. I was a big doing that album was ahead of its time.
It was.
Well, right on time. Yeah.
I like to because a lot of people, when they see me interview like somebody like that, they're like, "How'd you do it?" And I'm not the type to be like, "I ain't telling you shit." I literally tell them, you can ask their PR and send an email. It's that simple. But you can't even. But a lot of people will get discouraged when they don't hear from him like the first day, 3 days, or 4 days. So you have to not take it personal and send it again. Just be like, hey, I'm just following up. Like, don't be like, yo, why don't you fucking answer me? You be like, so I'm just following up, wondering what's going on. And 9 out of 10 times, like, I ain't gonna front. I've been going back and forth with Joel Santana for about 3 years now. But I'm not discouraged about it because I know it's going to come. But when all the people, I remember when you guys said you guys were supposed to have Jay Skis on, and I was like, really? Like, I remember telling Primo, I did not hit Jay Skis. I had to hit his manager because sometimes when an artist like a Jay Skis is signed to like a Conway the Machine, they're gonna have managers. Like I remember I got DJ Shea before he passed. R.I.P. DJ Shea.
R.I.P.
But there's been times where I interviewed DJ Shea, Rick Hyde, Duffel Bag Hardy, and Benny. Now you can hear Benny in the next room. So like I had actually
worked out the Jay Skis interview through Big Ghost.
Wow. Ultimate PR.
Well, I mean, just it was kind of one of those where, you know, he and I were talking about the album, and you know, I was like, he'd definitely be somebody I'd want on the podcast, and he's like, well, you know, I'll hit him up, and I was like, okay, and then he responded to my DM like an hour later, like, hey, yeah, so what's going on? And I was like, yeah, we'd love to have you on the podcast, blah blah blah. So I know, you know, Big Ghost probably hit him up immediately. And yeah, I mean, when Big Ghost speaks, it's the hand of Zeus, right?
Yeah.
You don't fuck around.
Absolutely.
I know if he called me and asked me to give him 20, I'd drop on the floor immediately.
I probably can't give 20. I probably
would
like
actually hear his voice
9.
I'd be like, yo, can I just hear you say that? Let me.
He'd use one of those like distorters.
This is like you kidnapped somebody.
Give me 20.
Here's the first podcast I did was I'm not Big Ghost podcast never. Vic Spencer said he'd FaceTime Big Ghost and he would never answer.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That came up and he's like, I FaceTime, but pick up.
He hit him. He wouldn't answer. Yo, that was kind of funny, man. Shout out to Vic Spencer, man.
Yeah,
Vic Spencer, man. Boom boom.
I was actually curious, like when you guys first like. I gotta ask, when you guys ever first like heard of like From the Desk Below, did you be like, fuck this guy?
No.
Hey yo, check it out. I wasn't.
No, you know my answer to that.
I wasn't.
Like,
but
let me get on the show.
Okay, I wasn't. Miz was like, yeah, fuck you. he was like, yeah. And so I was like, yeah.
When I found out about it, I'm somebody that I consume a lot of podcasts. I'd say there's probably 12 different podcasts that I listen to or watch regularly. And 3 of them are underground. Mm-hmm. Shout out Sam Buck. You know, but you know, it's for me, you know, it's another avenue for me to find artists that I haven't heard about or, you know, learn something new about artists that I like. And it's what I loved about The Fuck You Mean. It's what I love about Sam Bucks. You know, it's, you know, you introduce us to people in a really, really wholesome way and with great research. And so, yeah, there's nothing about it I could hate.
I really got into it is like, I'm telling you, the Stickman interview, I was like, where has this motherfucker been? And like,
I know, right?
Like, where I'm like, yo, Stickman, that I don't know. They don't really make music no more. I know that they
tour a lot.
Yeah,
they
got a new album coming.
Yeah, but the last one wasn't that. The last Stickman, it was the M1 album, I believe. It was a long time ago. It was not good. I think
they had solo careers too.
Yeah, it wasn't that good, man. I remember buying a CD and the single was not that good. I think what's the guy named that the laptop guy? I got my laptop. Not Alpha Mega.
I know who you're talking about now. I want to say
no. Who?
I'm gonna say it's the Workout.
I can't remember.
The dude that's the dude that said he put Sean Price on and Flea Lord punched in the face. Alpha Mega.
Aguilar.
Aguilar. There you go.
Aguilar, yeah. I remember you talking about it.
Yeah. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I didn't know that.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Aguilar.
That shit is.
Adolf the Don.
Yeah.
That's all the Grand Theft Auto.
Adolf the Assassin, rather.
Adolf the Assassin.
R.I.P. to great Sean Price. And like, see, that's the other thing is too. I take great pride in too, because a lot of people weren't interviewing Boot Camp Click.
Yeah,
I actually interviewed every single member of the Boot Camp Click except for Sean Price.
Right.
R.I.P. Sean Price.
True indeed. Yeah, I saw that shit, man. I saw. Yeah, that's pretty dope, man. That's a great accomplishment right there, G.
But again, that's my point, man. Like Low you've been accomplishing, man, especially in this lane. You've been shining that light onto people that put in their due diligence, put in their work, and may have been kind of forgotten or left in the wayside in all the hustle and bustle of the noise that's happening right now. Like Mr. Walt interview, for example. You know what I mean?
Wow,
Like,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, because you reminded me when you just said you had gotten almost all of the boot camp clique. It's like, yeah, there's people that care about these people, these contributions that these artists made, and you have the passion to do the research to really give people, and you've said it tons of times on Twitter or on your social media. And that's another thing I love about what you do, man, because you don't have any shame or any fear in saying, hey, Lloyd Banks, you should come on my show. I'll give you the best interview that you've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody tag Lloyd Banks, tell him come on my show. And then you end up getting all the producers for his last project on the show. So I know you're going to get the Lloyd Banks interview soon, but I say all that to say, yeah, man, you're performing a service. You've been performing a service, and you've been showing a lot of people that there is still a lot of life in this underground hip hop. Even before you get to the abyss, the underground itself still has a lot of life in it, and there's a lot of people that deserve their roses.
True indeed. Let me clean this up real quick. On the Miz shit saying fuck you. Miz says fuck you to everything. I remember he said fuck Fast Life, the rapper Fast Life.
Oh wow!
Then he went and bought his CDs. He was like, I thought you didn't like this guy.
Man, shout out Fast Life, man. We was down in New Orleans together, man. Shout out
definitely.
Fast Life.
He said, you know how I am, man. You know how I am. I'm like, bro,
who did you confuse for Fast Life again? I forgot. You're like Fast Life.
Bub Styles, man.
You call Bub Styles Fast Life?
Yes.
They had a New York
and mentioned it on the show.
That's hilarious.
That shit was fucked up. Because yo, Bull, he waved
that's
at me.
not me, my guy.
Yeah, he waved at me. I said, where's Papa Nix? I said, where's Papa Nix? Where's Fast Life? So Bub Styles said, I was like, that's Fast Life. That ain't Fast Life. Yeah, that's what kind of what happened. Yeah. But he raised it. But I think he had his grill in. He had a New York fitted.
Yeah.
And I had this. Yeah, I felt so bad, man.
Hey, hold on. Before you do that, though, shout out Bub, and shout out Chinatown Sounds, man, because they got a lot of big things coming in the pipeline, man. Recently, I saw that they've been cavorting with Rock Nation and getting all types of paperwork filled out. Yeah, man, shit's getting real serious down here in this abyss, man, in this underground, man.
It's
about to be very, very turbulent out here. Yeah, but keep going, Lukey. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to shout the man out.
Definitely, Bub Styles. That's a great thing. They are buying real estate in this global community, basically. That's what they're doing, Rock Nation.
Absolutely.
They already got Mock Homie, Rome Streets, Westside Gun. They got all these people, and they're just
I'm trying to be next. Estate. I'm trying to be the media guy for that.
But let me ask you this question. Do you consider yourself real journalism?
No. That'd be a slap in the face to people who do
that was cut and dry.
So I'm looking at Carl. And we actually Lo and I had a conversation about this on Facebook earlier. To me, it's as insulting as a McDonald's cook calling himself a chef.
I'm going to say it's
not every podcaster is a journalist.
Well, because what I look at as a journalist is you write articles. I never wrote an article. I'm a media personality. I'm not a journalist. There's a that's why I like to call Sunez the best of both worlds, because best of three worlds now. He's an artist right now too, but he can interview the artist, have immaculate, detailed writing, which I cannot do, by the way. But when people's like journalists, I'm like, no, I'm a media personality because I never written an article, and it'd be like a slap in the face.
I'm glad that you brought his name up specifically, because he's the one that basically said we should be better as journalists and hold ourselves to a higher standard. And I'm personally going to go on record and say I don't, I don't consider myself a journalist. I'm a podcaster. I'm an entertainer, and I'm a media person.
Yeah.
And it should be insulting to somebody of his stature for me to call myself a journalist when I clearly have no business calling myself a journalist.
Exactly. That's like, go ahead, Lukey.
If we were interviewing Drewski, little baby.
Oh, yo, hold on. Shout out Drewski, man. Y'all. All right, no, go ahead, Lukey. I'm just saying that could have been record shit. Y'all been seeing could have been records. If you have not watched any episodes of Could Have Been Records in auditions, go on YouTube, watch those, man. They will make your day. That man, Drewski, hilarious. Could Have Been Records auditions. Google them. You're welcome. But anyway, keep going, Lukey.
I seen one. Some girl was super thick, and he just passed her all. Yeah. She has OnlyFans. I looked. They're on Reddit. They're free.
Oh, wow, really? Okay.
Send me the Reddit link. I know it's free. You gotta send me the Reddit link.
Yeah, you gotta hit this link. Anyway.
You're a scumbag.
I'm sorry, man. I had to find that.
Jen Blanco is OnlyFans.
I love it.
I love it. Oh, but if we were interviewing other lanes of hip hop other than the lane we were in right now, I would consider us journalists, media, but we only have one lane, and this lane is not truly that popular. You know what I'm saying? So we have a niche base of fans who are loyal
I don't even think it's that. I think it's content based. I think, when we're bringing people in and we've got a list of questions and we're doing, formal interview, it's something different than what we do.
Oh, we do. We hang out.
Which is we hang out. Yeah, there's stuff we want to know. But
Jesus Samero.
You know what I mean? It's not like there's a list of questions we have to get through. There's not like, information that we're trying to put. We're just trying to get to know people, and that's it.
No label influence.
So we're hanging out.
Influence, or no money being sent to us to interview certain people. Jesus Samero.
Okay, so like in the morning when you're watching like Good Morning America or something, and they're all hanging out on the couch, is that journalism?
No, it's media.
No.
It's, you know what I mean? Now, when they throw to the desk and they give you the top stories, that's journalism.
Well, yeah, they have papers.
But when they're just hanging out on the couch and they're talking coffee talk in the morning on television, that's not journalism.
True indeed. Yeah. What is the best fast food restaurant or like Carl compared us to McDonald's? I think we're more like Five Guys.
No, I didn't. I didn't compare us. I'm just saying it's an insult for somebody who's in media but calls themselves a journalist.
I get
when
you don't. Saying, Carl.
To me, it's like if the Daily Show called themselves journalists. They weren't. It's satire. It's entirely different.
True indeed. So I'm pleasant to hear that you say that. Even though we do cover this certain lane, there's no bias, truly no bias, but we do control who we bring on our show. And
it's a new era,
of course. We're not here to start no beef with artists unless maybe I got beef with the motherfucker. Then I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I gotta say about him. How about that?
I like how you guys really handled episode 99 because you guys could have milked the hell out of that last part of that, I'm not going to say the dude's name, but y'all could have milked that, but you guys chose not to because you guys even put out a statement too. It's like, hey, it kind of went left at the end now too. But that's what I like about you guys' lane now too, because everybody somewhat likes a bit drama, but there's only so much you could take. It's like, damn, man, I don't want to fucking like him.
It's not the main draw. Yeah, that's not what we're doing this for. I mean, it happened. And it's something that I feel like we didn't want to hide or we didn't want to, downplay, but it happened and we moved on with it. But we weren't backing down. Like another thing, no one's going to tell us how we run our thing or do our thing. So we did what we did and we do what we do and we're going to keep on doing what we doing. But anyway, man, forget old boy, fuck all that episode 99 shit, man. Hold on. Now let's go. Hold on. funny enough, while you say, yeah, you don't do format stuff, I do have something semi-formatical to ask. Lo, who are your top 5 wish list interviews? Who do you want to have? Who would you love to have on the desk of Lo? Who do you want to talk to outside of Lloyd Banks? You can't say Lloyd Banks because everybody knows Lloyd Banks. Everybody knows that you're going to get Lloyd Banks on there.
Other guy.
Yeah, no,
50,
no, but
50, right?
Go.
No. Okay, so
your top 5 wish list.
My first one is The Alchemist.
Okay.
Second is Royce the 5'9".
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Royce 5'9" is my all-time favorite rapper. Third, Benny the Butcher. Fourth, Rock Marciano. And 5,
that's the toughest spot.
Elliot Wilson.
Woo.
Okay.
Nice.
That's a good list.
That's a very good 5.
Drake hates Elliot Wilson. Wilson.
Yo,
why does he hate him?
See, Drake's not really like a dream interview. It's just like it would be dope to be like, ask him Dipset questions and shit like that. But like honestly, like I like real lyricism as like I always been the guy who would be like with all these girls. I'd be like, let me play like some Slaughterhouse, and they're just like still to vibrate off. I was scared of back then. But before Daddy Brown. But I want to let people know this too. Don't ever think an interview is out of your reach, because if you go look up Instagram, I posted the DM. I asked Jim Jones, yo, would you be my first guest for my podcast? 5 years later, it happened. So don't ever feel discouraged about if it won't come right away, because sometimes you just have to wait. And a Pharaoh Monch taught me this. A blessing will always come when you least expect it. When all hope is lost, it come right there. And honestly, he proved that to me right there. And I can't lie. Shout out to Pharaoh Monch.
That's dope, bro.
Love you, bro.
Dope.
No homo, man.
No homo. You know who my dream podcast interview is?
Yes.
Go for it, Lukey. Who?
Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, shut up.
No, it's not. You just saying that, trying to go full circle. What you gonna ask her, Lukey?
I mean,
are you gonna ask her how she came up with Since You've Been Gone?
I'm gonna ask her about a talk show, like, because sometimes it'd be like whack.
I would
sometimes
that's why you would want to interview her, is so you could ask her about her sometimes whack.
I just want to talk about her personal life and see if I don't know, man. I don't know.
She's still keeping touch with Justin from American Idol, who was running up. I'm just playing.
Sanjaya. Anyway.
Sanjaya.
I don't want to interview Kelly Clarkson, but I love that song though. But I like a lot of different genres of music. Is there any other genre of music that you like? Fuck with other than hip hop? Like, I also have like R&B guys. I think I may have like I love R&B too. I love like Dwell. Detroit.
You're
all about Detroit, bro.
Yes, sir. Bilal.
Yeah, of course.
The first, the two top Music Soul Child.
Yeah, music. Oh my God, man! I remember I was supposed to get that interview. Hella Veronica, who signed to Rock Nation and Ninth Wonder. What's the girl's name again? Baya. I don't know how to say the girl's name, but she
Baya.
And so my two favorite R&B women acts, and I want to marry them one day. I'm gonna front. Jorah Smith or Snow Allegra. Oh my God!
Oh wow, yeah. Georgia Smith and Snow Allegra, yep.
Oh my God, Snow Allegra is just, oh my God, something about her voice that's so soothing and like temporary highs. Like, oh my, that girl, I don't know if she signed to Beyonce or not, but that girl is fucking talented. That's like the second coming of Beyonce.
Okay.
Yeah. It's funny that you said that, man. It's funny that you said that. I'm very familiar with all those names, but I think that's even more proof of how you're keeping your finger on the pulse of what's hot and what's current. Not for the sake of just saying what's hot and what's current, but because you actually are a fan of it. Because that's like the new real R&B sound, right? There's all this kind of trap, sing talking stuff
like
that's going on out here.
I hate it.
That's not really, it's not really a good expression of the talent that really is existing out there in R&B. Like there really is some good R&B music that exists, and those two names especially, absolutely, yeah. So they're top notch.
I've got
to.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
So I also want to point out too that my platform, hip hop, is always going to be number one on my platform. But I try to show the world that I can do R&B interviews. I can do TV show interviews. Like I had my favorite TV show, The Wire, Trey Chaney, or Kane from the BMF show. So I want to.
I saw that.
Yeah, because like it's not just. You can't put this show in a box. Yes, hip hop is the number one, but I'm a huge fan of TV shows. Like anything HBO, I'm an HBO junkie, man. Like HBO has it, I'll fucking watch it like that. But like when when you see like stars come up with power, like I always like Mac Wilds, man. Like that dude, like that's another dude who is a dope R&B act.
I mean, yeah, I fucks with it.
It's not for everybody, though. But like,
it's not.
No, it's not for everybody. I got a friend, but like, it's trying to
like
show.
Cannibal Corpse.
Oh yeah, don't get wow, Lukey. You know Cannibal Corpse. Yeah, that fucked me right up for a second. I don't like that.
I'm sorry.
Shit, no,
that shit is weird.
That is weird, man. I gotta. No, sorry, Carl, if you like the Cannibal Corpse or like the Slayer or shit like that. But honestly, like I tried to get into it, I just can't.
It's not for everybody.
You listen to it while you play video games. Like Mortal Kombat.
If I'm playing the video game, I won't go to the hip hop station and fucking Grand Theft Auto. I'll go to Flash FM where it plays like the Outfield You'll Love. When Mickey Diamond said that he loves the song You'll Love, I'm like, Mickey Diamond is fucking the shit right now. He's like, Josie, come. I don't want to sit on this podcast, but y'all look up the song if y'all don't know it though.
It was the Wu-Tang game, the horrible Wu-Tang game. We had to go fast. You couldn't fast forward through the fucking monologues. Yeah.
The fighting game?
The Shaolin style fighting game, yes, sir.
The fighting game was dope, man. Dude, you ain't about to talk shit about the game.
The fighting game it was the PlayStation game where you just could like you had to play the story.
Oh yeah, I don't know that one. I remember the Wu-Tang when you could pick all of them and it was a fighting game. That shit was raw.
Nah, it was a different game. You had to play a story. But I think you could take the CD. I vividly remember this. You could put the video game in, then put the CD in and play the CD behind the whole entire. Yeah, like you could play the CD behind all the Wu-Tang shit. You could play a whole different. I forget how that shit worked. It might not even been PlayStation. It might have been Dreamcast. I don't know. I remember that you couldn't fast forward through the monologues. You had to just sit there and listen to it. Like, it was horrible. Yeah. But they probably learned. Wu-Tang game in the way.
I had kind of a two-part question. Is it challenging being in Calgary as far as being a hip-hop fan? Do you guys get like a lot of live music out there that you can support, things like that? Because I know Calgary is Midwest Canada, really cold winters. I got a cousin that lives in Airdrie. Is it challenging to be like a hip hop fan out there?
For live shows, yeah, because we don't get fucking nobody. Like when we do, it's at a very small venue. Like it'll be in the hood, and I don't like going to the hood. But like sometimes, like I remember R.I.P. Prodigy. When Calgary was supposed to have Mobb Deep, Prodigy couldn't get through the border because that gun charge he got, and they only had Havoc. And Havoc was only there for like 20 minutes because he's like, this crowd ain't it. So, it's discouraging, but, Stampede, we have this thing called the Stampede where people dress up people dress up. I never dressed up as a cowboy, but everyone dresses up like a cowboy and goes alcohol crazy. So we get like, during the Stampede, we may get like a mega festival, but it'll be with like the late 2000s and like Nelly or like Akon or like stuff like that. That's not really in. Like I would
hip hop.
Yeah, like I would like and this is what sucks for Canada because we don't get to see these type. I always wanted to see Eminem, 50 Cent, The Game, or 50 Cent, Eminem, Dr. Dre, and The Game live, but they can't come to Canada or they just don't because whoever's booking these people don't know how to book them. So it's like we miss out on all these great shows. And I always say this on my podcast too. The Shady Aftermath G Unit movement was very impactful to me. Maybe just because, like, oh yeah, oh thank you. I thought y'all were gonna be like, what the fuck? But
no,
a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't like that movement though. But that impact, that Shady Aftermath G Unit, I was as a kid buying. I still have all those deluxe CDs, but it was the second coming of my generation's Death Row because. Yeah, I was around for Death Row, but I was like 6 or 7. I was playing with fucking Power Rangers, Star Wars, fucking shit like that. I was, like I said, I was a big nerd till like my later teens. But we don't. It's those type of shows that we don't get to see. Like my first ever hip hop CD, and this was my introduction to hip hop. I remember I was walking home one day, and I was big PlayStation fan. I see this disc on the ground with like a weed leaf on it. I didn't know what the hell weed was at the time. I'm like,
shit, Crown 2001.
Yep.
Yeah, and I remember it wasn't scratched. I'm like, okay, let me pop this in. And I remember when I heard The Watcher, I was like fucking blown. I was like, what is this? And every artist that appeared on that album, I looked up and it just made me it was my introduction to hip hop. But I also know that when people say that movement, they're like, oh, he's not a real hip hop fan. But that's what made me dig because that's how I found like the Boot Camp clip, Redman. I remember finding the Wu-Tang. I remember finding Wu-Tang in 2005 because the hype for Only Built for Cuban Links 2 was hype. And it was like the most, he was signed. See, a lot of people don't know that album was supposed to be on Aftermath. And me being, the Aftermath connoisseur I am, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to have fucking Dre beats on it? Like, this is going to be insane. So I remember Raekwon was my introduction to the Wu-Tang. And I started off Only Built for Cuban Links 1. Then I found Liquid Swords. Then I found Iron Man. Then I found Wu-Tang Forever. And then once I listened to everybody's solo discographies, I was like, I want more. I want more of this 5%. I want more of this coke rap. And I got a friend, Cuban Link had some like glaciers of ice, but it also showed me now too, like not everybody can do it. Like the Clips can do it, but I remember finding like Killer Army or like Sons of Man or Black Knights, but a lot or like North Star and what I said, Shaim, and a lot of these people who listen to Eminem to these days, they think. A lot of people who listen to Eminem, they will only stick to that certain movement. I notice it's like you guys don't want to venture off and hear who they worked with. Like it kind of fucks me up because like if you like them, it kind of fucks me up too. How Griselda really why didn't Shady put out physicals for those albums that they released on that label? You know how impactful that would have been for like somebody like. Who still buys
I got a What Was Sheen Gonna Do physical.
Yeah, but it's bootleg. It's bootleg though.
It's bootleg. It's bootleg from them though. It's bootleg from the boys. Absolutely.
But it's like,
because they made their own physicals for it.
That's right.
But there is people who follow Eminem's Shady Records movement. And they buy like the Grip. I forget the other guy's name, but they buy those physical CDs from them. So it's like. Griselda's known for selling physicals. Why wouldn't this fucking label put out physicals? That's the only thing I don't really agree with Shady Records is how they handle their artists because they did that with Slaughterhouse. We never got that second album. And then with Griselda, yes, they did let them release their projects though.
But wasn't Eminem releasing something at the same time for himself?
Yeah, he was releasing Kamikaze. And and why wasn't West Side Gun? Conway was on there. That's like, I think that, sometimes when an artist does sign to Shady Records, it kind of can make their career go to the next level, but they may also be stuck in that box. It's like, okay, well, he's signed to Eminem, and if he's not putting anything else on Eminem's label, I'm not listening to him. It's like, you know how much you know how much solo albums Griselda put out after Shady? Like, that are
after the deal, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's like they were holding all their best shit.
Yeah, kind of. I don't really know what that deal was about. I just know that the exposure put them in a different atmosphere, because when they signed to Shady, they probably would have never got on Fallon.
And see, that's big for this underground. And another thing is Combat Jack was the one who introduced me to Griselda, because I remember he like Trey Peasy, Dave East, and he's like, Conway, this fly. He kept saying fucking Conway for West Side Gun, because he kept referring to Conway to the Fly God. I'm like, okay, he's new, obviously, but he showed a true passion for that underground lane, and it shows, like, if the biggest artist in the world can like fuck with you, that gives me so much hope when I see like Jay-Z post of like Mark Harmony, or like, Jeremiah Tree with Currency. It's like that can bring a whole new generation of
Method
fans.
Man with 38 Spash, and
LeBron
and
James.
Flea.
Yep.
Yeah,
and Flea. Yep.
Yo, shout out to Flea, man. Flea was like, man, I remember that interview when he did with me. That's when everything changed. That's when people were like, I need a From the Desk Low interview. But shout out to Flea, man. Very influential too.
Oh, hold on. See, you sparked something else before we get too far. Again, all right, Lo. So, what would be, if you're just bumping into somebody, or for somebody who's just listening to us, this is their first time ever finding out about you, what would be the 5 interviews, your favorite interviews, that you would tell them, check this out, this is my resume? What would be those interviews?
It probably won't be the ones you think I'm gonna say.
No, that's why I asked. Yeah, go ahead.
So there was an artist signed to Dr. Dre. He went by Gage. I did an extensive 4-hour interview with him where he detailed signing. I even have the footage on the interview. He is with DMX before Dr. Dre, and then he details day by day on signing how to Dr. Dre was. And for somebody who grew up listening to his mixtapes, it was like I go back and watch that interview as a fan, and I get tripped out sometimes, like, oh fuck, that's me talking to him.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm getting really into it. That one would be one. Another one would be the 13 interview, because I think it just came full circle with that one now too, because that's the first time they ever did an interview as 13. And they described what influenced them to actually make the band and the meaning of the number 13. And it also shows like the humbleness between them too, because when they may see the name like a Jack White drummer or with Anderson, but they'd be like, damn, these guys are assholes. But no, they are very intelligent, successful, well-hearted individuals. That's 2. Damn. Shit, I do a lot of interviews. Fuck.
You do a lot of them. Exactly.
Been going into 2018. Yeah, so a lot.
But a lot of people don't know is like when they find me, they're like, oh, your YouTube interviews are amazing. And I used to post
that back before that.
Yeah, I used to post at the beginning of the interview, like, if you like these, there's more on these audio, but people don't read nowadays, so
they can't read.
So I just came to the third one is the Planet Asia interview I did. I recorded that in a shitty ass stairwell, but it came out amazing though, because he detailed here in the Rakim Aftermath album, the Cali Agent story, and his growth as an artist and what he thinks of the underground of today. Because Planet Asia has been one of those guys who's been doing these albums of DJ Muggs.
Absolutely.
So he's been, early on these. So that one is a really fulfilling one because he goes really into his career. I don't know if a lot of people don't know Lord Goat, but he went by Gore-Tex of with Nonfiction.
Nonfiction. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. That interview keeps getting so much views for some reason. But in that interview, he details how Linkin Park ripped off Nonfiction in the beginning days, because when Linkin Park was coming out, they have a song called Paper Cut, and he goes into detail on how they were big fans of Nonfiction. Like, yo, we're listening to Mike Shinoda. Was like, yo, Mike, like, come over here, listen to this. And like, they were loving Nonfiction. And then when he details them ripping them off, and then he ran into like the Asian dude, Mr. Han. It's incredible. So yeah, it's kind of messy though, but he doesn't try to make it messy. It's part of their story. And he also talks about the DJ Muggs album, because if y'all pay attention to DJ Muggs, he did an album with Ill Bill around, the 2010s, 2009.
Yeah.
And Gore-Tex was always my favorite out of nonfiction. And I remember when they announced it on MySpace, Gore-Tex and DJ Muggs album, I was like, holy fuck, like we just got pay language? Now we're getting this? And he details why that never happened. And he said Necro, and I didn't catch that until somebody put it in the comments like, oh, he said Necro fucked up the deal. So that was a good one. But he also talks about the history of nonfiction and MC Search, who goes a long way. You're out to MC Search, man. Big supporter.
Yeah.
And the fifth one, fuck, man. There's a lot of interviews I do, man.
You got a lot of interviews, man.
I'm gonna say my first Willie the Kid interview, not the second one, the first one.
Yeah.
Because we talked about him being early on The Alchemist and having an album with. I said this in his interview, and I said it on public platforms, and I'll say it again. Willie the Kid has the best Alchemist produced project. Because that Theater Masterpiece album is fucking, it's so cinematic that I wish that they would do more. But Willie, shout out to Willie, man. He has his own successful, but I remember being a kid and, my generation, we were fucking big on gangster grills. It's kind of crazy to see a nigga come back.
Affiliates, yeah.
Yeah, and before Jack Harlow and all that, I asked Willie, I was like, so what are your opinions on Jack Harlow? And, he gives his honest opinion on because a lot of people don't know, before Jack Harlow, there was Willie the Kid. Willie the Kid was supposed to be what Drake is now. Drake shouted this guy out. Like a lot of people like to look over Willie the Kid's influence though, but his influence runs deep in this game. And he says
absolutely.
He says it in that interview, and he also lets people know that just because he's been in this game for a long time doesn't mean that you can't get any better. Because if we look at Willie the Kid's career, he didn't even put out his DJ drama executive produced album, Prince of the Crown. He said in that interview. So a lot of people would like that one too. And a couple of random ones is Ty Ferris, Ito, Flea Lord, Pete Crack, Ralph McDaniels. Yeah, there's a lot. Robe Streets. That's the thing, man.
Flex on low.
No. It just taking pride of being early on believing somebody before.
As you should.
Yep. Yeah. If I like the music, this is what I think. Like Vegas 7 to Ronin. A lot of people, weren't really knowing about that until they know it was one music though, but I wanted to hear more as a person. So when you actually get to interview that person, you get to hear their music. It's like what you guys did with me for Umbrella.
Brought up. Oh, we both just doing a service to the community. You know what I'm saying? It's a lane that's touched but really untouched. You know what I'm saying? But we here doing it, and we here with you, bro. We alike Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z, my guy.
Yeah, so like the thing is too, like a lot of people in media, they like to be like, oh, he gets that interview. I'm not fucking with that platform now. This is why I like you guys' platform now too, because you guys ain't standoffish now too. I get a friend. The first time I heard Carl, I was like, oh, he's not going to like me because I'm Canadian.
Inter-Canada beef.
What?
Then I found out he's from Canada.
Okay,
yeah. Yeah.
That's
wild. I really don't know what it is about other white dudes, like not liking other white dudes in hip hop, like white on white hate or something like that. But it's like, yo, man, like fuck, like a lot of people when a lot of people look at a white person in hip hop to be like, oh, he likes Eminem. That's the first thing somebody would say. It's like
Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, rap. Shout out to Megan Fox.
Beastie Boys.
Logic.
But
my God, you said Logic.
No, Logic doesn't count. No one likes Logic. I think all races can agree on that.
I'm kind of glad that
I said that strictly for Lukey. I'm sorry.
I threw up a little bit. Hey, I remember someone said there's a tweet. Some guy said I threw up a little bit in my mouth, and some girl tweets back, "If you spoiled it, you gay."
Oh yeah.
That's funny. But yeah. I mean, Jay Petta said it too in a text message that is sometimes white rappers and white fans be like, yo, they wanna, but that's not really in our genre. We don't really hate each other for it's like our genre is real peace. Some events that we have, like Benny the Butcher Show, the Drunken Unicorn, there was no security and no one patted nobody down.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, it was a real peace situation.
Real good time.
So Carl's probably one of the coolest. I can't take that back. Carl can be fiery, but Carl's cool. Carl,
I got some heat.
Carl can tell you the way to go. I'm say
a little spicy. I get a little spicy.
Yeah, definitely.
It's always the Carl one that will fuck you up. I noticed that, and from personal experience, it's always you least expect.
You have to understand, I've dealt with every version of Karen you've ever could imagine. Because I was the fucking manager. So, they would seek me out daily, and I know how to throw people out of fucking stores. I know how to stand toe to toe and defend myself. So I don't start a lot of shit, but I'm not afraid of it either.
Yeah.
I'm after this interview is over, I'm gonna send y'all a group message. In the group message with Carl Mapes, I'm gonna send you a video how I kick people out of stores.
I'll send you one too. I got some for my work too. I work front desk. I'll send you some too.
That's what's up, man. Well, we've been on here for quite a while, but there's more to talk about. So we should probably do some lives every once in a while.
Yeah,
talk about what we had.
Crossover episodes. We'll do some more crossovers.
You know what I'm saying? Probably like I don't know. We'll see. I've been talking about this for a minute. It's gonna come to fruition. We'll do some crossover lives and we'll put them on. Put them on just tag each other as collaborators or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
we
makes
already
sense.
listen to each other anyway. You know what I'm saying? So boom, we definitely got.
I got a friend. I'm gonna give you guys your flowers. I know it's my interview, but I'm still giving you guys your flowers because your guys' show can really help somebody's day. Because there'll be some days where I have the most fucked up day in history. And I'll just come home and I'll sit on my laptop and I'll watch y'all guys talk shit and it will fucking kill me. But in a good way, man, because when Lukey was talking to the guys, he's like, stop, yo, like that. I was like, that's the dad. That's the dad. I was like, that's the dad of Lukey right there. but it's like,
that was dad action.
Yeah,
it was the guy who's gonna take the back of my pistol and hit him. That was the guy who's gonna end up taking the back. That's the guy. I shouldn't have said that, shouldn't I?
No.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Gangland didn't help you out with that.
It didn't. Damn. Gangland Carl. Yeah.
But I'm really glad that you guys actually, Lukey's brainchild formed into what it is today because with Carl giving his side of, because we got to remember now too, Carl, you're a lot older. You're a lot older than all now too.
I am.
But
I'm the elder statesman.
But this is what I like
elder statesman. Yeah, because
it shows that you don't have to have an age limit when it comes to actually loving this hip hop thing.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, we're probably gonna be banning this stuff till we're 90 years old.
Oh,
I sure am.
Yep,
and then
absolutely.
And then we have the connection with Lukey and Primo Jab now too. You guys are literally real friends in real life, and it shows on the podcast now too, because on how you vibe with each other now too. You gotta crack jokes on each other. And it's like, yeah, man, we're just joking and shit like that. But it shows because just take this, you guys. Keep doing what you're doing, and don't ever think that an interview is out of reach. Because honestly, if I can help you guys, I'll be more than willing to.
Thank you for that.
Give me that Kelly Clarkson interview. I think another reason why it works is that we totally do not agree on everything. Carl has his views. I have my views. Primo Jab has his views, and
we all respect each other.
True indeed, except when it comes down to Ghetto Fabulous. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Slipped my mind totally.
And I already recorded the no skip for tomorrow. Y'all gonna be mad at me. Well, I don't think Carl likes that album. I don't think Primo Jab likes that album either. But it's no skips.
I don't like that album. It's not a no skips album, man.
I'm talking about this album, the no skips. I'm gonna put out tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't think both
I thought
y'all.
you were talking about Ghetto Fabulous because you know where I stand on that.
I can go into
that. Better not be a no skip. I'm not posting that.
Definitely skip.
That's several skips.
Okay,
a hop, skip and a jump.
Since we're all three on here, the album I have for no skips for tomorrow, which is
because this won't air until Tuesday. So
tomorrow Thursday.
It's Nelly Country Grammar.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
okay.
Yeah,
wow. I mean, you're from St. Louis.
You think it's a no skip?
Yeah, you're from St. Louis.
I listened to it again 2 weeks ago, and like it was a really gangster album, and it was talking about areas that I frequent, and I had to go to church. And
you've seen this?
Yes, and they have a song, "Never Let Them See You Sweat." I keep my right guard on in case my shoe ain't handy. Speed sticking with me and my niggas. When I turn it up a degree, the secret's never kept. Never let them see you sweat. I'm like, yo, that's all about deodorant. I'm like, yo,
Nelly is very good at staying on theme.
Oh, he can rap.
Yeah, I mean, but I like, they have a lot. Let's get a million, keep it real for triple O. Eyes low from plenty here to get hydro, fuck a bitch and some clothes. I gotta get rich, go platinum and do shows, get the dough. I love that album so much. Yeah.
I need to go back and listen to that.
It's like Bone Thugs. I don't know. You remind me of Bone Thugs when I first heard it. It's fun music.
Comparison. That's a wild comparison.
That flow is like Bone Thugs. He's singing basically. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fun Bone Thugs because he's singing. He's basically singing. He was Drake and Ja Rule.
I was just about to say you cannot hate or front on the impact that Nelly had to the game of rap music and hip hop music. Because I mean, think about it. When he dropped that double album, he had the game in a headlock.
That was with Grills.
Drop down and get your eagle on. Oh, Grills, all that. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like he was getting Nelly was getting like $1 million. It was crazy.
Honestly, the Saint Lunatics album, Free City, no skips either, yo. But after that, it was going. Then all of a sudden said, "With I love you."
Label wasn't cutting the check, probably.
I mean, no, he just realized, just like Ghostface, whenever he dropped Supreme Clientele, then he did
Theodore Unit.
No, it was Bulletproof Wallets was the album that went wood, but. The reason why it went wood,
it had pieces on it though.
I think that's the album right there to me. Would y'all gonna be mad too?
Collar.
Oh my God, Trife the God. That album right there is no skips for me as well. Bulletproof Wallets, I love that album. But
Shaky Dog.
Song, yeah. Oh my God. But
Shaky Dog is Fishtail, Primo Jab.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but there was a Shaky Dog that was on there too. He used the title Shaky Dog twice.
Oh, because I remember the shape.
If I'm not correct. Maybe no. I'm sorry. Strawberry is what I'm thinking of.
Okay. I was say Fishtail is my favorite.
Maxine, Strawberry. Those are two of my joints.
Great storytelling. Great storytelling. The Forest.
The Forest. Yeah.
Peace, pussies, trees. Hello. Oh my God. The storytelling is.
I don't like that.
I mean, it's Ghost we talk about, man. You know,
I like it. I like it. But I like a lot of unorthodox stuff. Carl knows. Carl sent me some music a long time ago. I listened to it. I got in the playlist. It was just like bizarre, and I loved it. It was like,
sometimes you can like. I remember I was showing my emo friends. They weren't really into hip hop, but they were like into like Ozzy and shit like that. So they were my introduction to Ozzy. But they showed me this one group, Hollywood Undead. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, these white dudes are rapping, but it's like rock. And he's like, yeah, dude, it's like, you gotta have an open mind. So I like that's the thing about me too. Like, I used to have friends in high school that were popular as fuck, and I'll be friends with the losers. I was in the middle. They're like, oh, that's a popular kid. Yeah, exactly. So like, I think that's also my approach to taking interviews now too, is like, I don't care where you come from. If I like your music, I'm gonna talk to you about it now too.
Yeah, nerd kids at the cool table. Nerd kids at the cool table.
For real.
I love Red Hot Chili Peppers. Not for a period of time, I thought they was a rap group because they had a single there. I forget. Can't stop the dun 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 dun. Carl, my phone friend.
I can't think of the name of the song now.
Yeah, they got a lot of, it's like a lot of hip hop traits to the punk element of their music.
Ska-ish.
There you go.
Yeah, ska-ish.
Didn't they go on tour with the Wu-Tang, or was that Guys Against the Machine? I can't remember.
Rage Against the Machine went on tour with Wu and Cypress Hill, I think.
And it's actually
Right?
Can't Stop.
Can't stop.
Okay.
Hey, yo, boom. Matter of fact, I think I said Can't Stop before I started doing this. But I
couldn't remember if that was the name of the song, but yeah, it is.
I'm glad my horrible beatboxing and impersonation of that song was good enough for you to get the title of that song. This is probably horrible. Yeah, that's why Carl is my phone a friend. Yeah, if I need $1 million on that show, I'm calling him a Primo Jab.
Can't stop addicted to the shindig.
Yeah. Oh my God, they got a lot of Under the Bridge.
I love Under the Bridge. That's one of the songs.
Well, and honestly, in rock, they have the most rock solid groove section ever in Flea and Chad Smith, their drummer. Flea's the bass player and Chad Smith's the drummer.
And one guy died. Right?
No.
One guy
I think
died.
they've had guitar. Well, they've had a number of guitar players.
Okay. Sorry I killed off somebody.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I thought one guy
I'm a double check. Nope. Chad Smith still alive. He's 61. Flea better not have died.
No, Flea's not dead.
Flea's fine. Yeah, they all.
Yeah, Flea's kicking
some guy overdosed.
Anthony Kiedis. Let's check Anthony.
Anthony Kiedis is fine.
Yeah, he's good. Man, you have me scared.
John Fruttoni is fine. They're all fine.
Maybe it was somebody from Slipknot. I know one of the members.
I think it's somebody from a different band you're talking about.
Yep, Lukey. Dave Navarro's still alive, so he's good.
Well, my bad, guys.
Okay. Yeah,
it's probably somebody from Slipknot.
But it was early on that somebody died
drummer.
from a drug.
Slipknot's drummer died.
Overdose.
Joey Jordan.
Somebody died of an overdose, I believe. Mandela effect. The Mandela effect got me.
Dirtbag, Dimebag.
Yeah,
that's who you're talking about.
Dimebag got shot.
Hey, yo.
Wait, yeah, because I know Rocker
got shot in a club with Damage Plan, his second band with him and his brother drummer, Vinny.
Well, the Mandela effect got me. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought John Madden died 10 years before he died.
Yeah. Everybody thought he was done. Same thing with Coach K. Same thing with what's his name, Dick Vitale. Everybody
Coach
thought
K
he
died.
Did too. No, but people thought he did.
People assumed he did.
Yeah, people thought he did.
That's
bad.
But I mean,
Wikipedia.
John Madden wasn't a stretch. I mean, how many turducken legs can you eat before it just catches up to
you? Wow.
Every year.
Turducken.
Every year. Take the football and you go down and boom. Yeah, that guy was itching for a heart attack.
Shout out John Madden, man.
Hey, did you all hear that? That was a dead ringer for fucking John Madden.
No, Carl has some good voices.
Yeah, I felt like Carl was
quality
fat
voice work.
I felt Carl was fat. Yeah, close my eyes. Oh my God, is Madden alive? Mandela effect, the butterfly effect.
Butterfly effect. Yeah, man. But it's based off of the fact that everybody thought like something about Mandela. So that's why you call
Mandela,
it the Mandela effect.
Mandela effect.
So yeah, man. You're smart. You're smart, Lukey.
So indeed.
I love that movie.
It's pretty good. Butterfly effect is cool. But Carl, what else we have? Primo Jab, what else we have before we transition out of here? Yo?
I know we're wrapping up, and I will tell you, I really do appreciate the flowers. I just wanted to take a moment and make sure that we gave you your flowers, because you're definitely a leader in this underground as far as, you know, shining that light and exposing us to incredible, like, honest interviews. But I also want to commend you for the motivational stuff that you continually post on your social media. And indeed. I know, like a lot of us, when we're sending out those messages, sometimes they're just as much for us. But it helps to see that kind of stuff. And you know, sometimes you going through it yourself and see somebody post something like that, and it can really change your day. So I just love the way you move in this scene. I love the respect you have for this culture. And I definitely, you know, a huge fan, man. So thank you so much for coming on.
Oh man, it's an honor, man. Like you said, like you got y'all my A-likes, man. So the more we push this culture forward, is the more that actual these artists are gonna benefit. Because if we like it, artists and producers, sorry.
Yep.
They're going to benefit from it. Because if we like it, there's going to be somebody who likes us. Like, okay, well, we take their word seriously. Let me check that dude out. And I think the motivational thing comes from is I've been through a lot of shit in my life. A lot of shit in my life. I shouldn't even be here. I should be in jail. I should be addicted to drugs. I should be homeless. But I beat through every obstacle, and I want to show people that if I can go through the worst shit and inspire people to be motivational and fix their lives and better their days, then I'm all for it, because we got one life to live. And if I die tomorrow, then I have all of these things out there that people can look back on. It's like, damn, like he really pushed this motivational with a positive light. Yeah, sometimes I slip up and like, post some like shit, but we're here. But after like 2 hours, I'll take it down because, it's like, I just felt that way for the moment. So I don't really want to try to push negativity. It's just, sometimes I like talking my shit.
Yep.
But I'll take it down sometimes though. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want people to think I don't want people to think I'm bragging. It's never.
I mean, we all have our moments, man.
Yeah.
We all have our moments. Yeah. We all human, man. Well, we're Primo Jab. What we got?
Yo, I mean, Lo, you my man, and I'm happy to have you on the Zoom with us, and I'm happy to be able to introduce our listeners who may not be aware of you to you, so that they can go back and scour your catalog and see the amount of intentional respect that you pay to the names that they respect, and the amount of work you do in this lane and making this legitimate, man. You have been doing this for 5-6 years now, and it's always been a level up from the moment you started to these recent interviews that you've done. And I've been right there watching you, man. I have, man. I send you all
You've been there from the start.
I shout you out. Yeah, man. I mean, thanks to you, you gave me a chance to come on the show. Me, you, and Bless, man, we got blackout drunk and had tons of fun, like several times, man.
That was fun.
So, yeah, man. I mean, and it's just, again, I think that's just a credit to the person who you are, man, because your style of interview, it's really it's really based off of a genuine desire to give the best interview. Like that's your quote. If I ever could put a quote to you, you definitely try to pride yourself on making sure that your guests get the best interview and that you give your audience the best results. So keep doing what you're doing, man. Salute. I'm just happy to have this crossover with you on here, man. It's good to see you, man. Keep it up.
I love your transition into big pause. I love your transition to artist to podcaster, because I know Primo Jab is the artist. So when I see Primo Jab, in my lane now, I was like, Primo Jab's a natural at this, man. Like, you could have did it.
You put the battery in my back, honestly, from those first episodes that we were on there.
Man. See, and like that's the thing is now too. Like before we get out of here now too, this is another how Primo Jab comes first circle for me. God Bless Beats was the first ever producer that let me interview him, and it also made me appreciate producers and give them their credit, because what artist ever put out a hot acapella that we went back and listened to? It was always a beat. It's like, they flow so well over that beat, like Bronze Nazareth. That was when I interviewed him. Yeah, Bronze is an artist, but I wanted to know more about his production side, and I think the God Bless Beats interview really put the battery in my back, because as uncut as my guy Bless is, shout out to my guy Bless. Uncut as a motherfucker, but he showed me that you got to give these producers their credit, and also it means the world to them sometimes when you actually acknowledge their work. It's like, I seen you produce, and we know about him, and they love telling those stories.
Yes.
And they got equipment too. They have a whole new world that some people don't understand. I don't really produce, but I understand. It's really amazing. Live instrumentation, all type of crazy shit. Yeah, it really is. It's a whole other world that they did divulge into. Yeah. But yeah, we over here. We don't podcast bang. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
We don't.
Yeah. And this is a long time coming, man. I know years ago when we tried to set this up, you know what I'm saying? But we and let's work together to kind of push this together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, ain't no sets over here.
Hey,
Low
like
versus
I was gonna say DC versus Marvel, but yeah, that too.
Hey, low key, I think I'm Star Wars. Like, I just thought about it at work today, man. I'm Star Wars over everything. The first 3 movies still is
I'm the
supreme.
dude that moves between the clicks, so I'm cool. I'm friends with the Marvel, the DC, and the Star Wars. I got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna claim Marvel.
I got a Marvel name. My name is directly derived from Marvel, but still, Star Wars. When I saw that shit, just on VH cassette tape, just blew my mind. Jesus Christ!
I remember on one of the, I don't know if it was this one or the last one, but you said growing up you couldn't listen to hip hop. All you had was a Star Wars tape, Star Wars tape, and something else you said, and I was like, wow,
Jet magazine.
Yeah, and when you said
Beauty of the Week.
In a 30 cassette tape with 36 chambers. That's 1993.
And when you said that, you like Star Wars, I was like, wait, you like Star Wars too? Because when a lot of people don't really know that Razkaz is a huge Star Wars fan, but they don't get some of his references because they don't know the references.
Mm-hmm.
True indeed.
That's why when Carl did the lightsabers, I was like,
shout out Razkaz.
Well, I mean, I got a Millennium Falcon, and
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I got those up there. If I shift this real quick, you'll see I've got a tall Darth Vader in the corner.
Got the hammer, the Milner. Yeah, the Milner right there.
But I also built my own arc reactor, so little Marvel representation there. Yeah.
Is it glowing?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Oh shit! Okay.
It's really official.
The service that I've been trying to provide more is to understand or let people understand that people or these rappers have more to life than rap, and that's what I enjoy more about this podcast than the last one. We're digging in a tad bit because no one would know you like Pokemon. They think you just get fresh and drink. You know what I'm saying? Like we drink, we smoke. We like rap, you know what I'm saying? But like shit, people would not know that. People would not know a lot of things about me and us if this podcast wouldn't. And that's what makes people like us more when they get to know us. So
because
that's the service that like.
Yep.
True indeed. It's more than just bars, yo. More it is this. But thank you for taking the time out to motherfucking come on this motherfucking podcast. I know you're supposed to talk about New Gods and shit like that. The album never came out. You know what I'm saying? But it might. Who knows? I gotta talk to Young Dirty. You heard that shit though?
I was gonna ask you about that now too, because I remember hearing you were in a group with Young Dirty. I was like, oh yeah, shit. You are literally Wu-Tang affiliate now.
I mean, low key, I sat on my couch and said I was Wu-Tang, but I gotta learn math because he asked me to borrow. He said, "Can I borrow power dollars?" So I don't. I just want to use $5 to get in the. He said power dollars. I said I didn't understand I didn't understand. I didn't hear him say power. I said, huh? Man, you gotta learn math. I asked you for power dollars. I'm like, yo, I knew that, but I didn't hear what you said. All right. Yeah, you want to Wu-Tang, but you gotta learn math. I'm like, bro, I didn't hear. Okay.
Damn, I gotta learn math too, because I'm thinking of the 50 Cent album, Power of the Dog.
Yeah, five. Power is the 5. Power, like knowledge, wisdom, understanding, 1, 2, 3. You keep going. It's like supreme alphabet.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm a huge 1%er and know all the mathematics.
1%.
Oh, sorry. 5%.
1%ers are a different thing.
You're close. Good job, Lo.
I'm not going to sit here and say that, I'm really in tune with that now, too. I'm curious about it now, too. But, I don't want to claim that I'm some, God, I know all about the science and the mathematics. I don't. But it's curious. But, that's why I like looking up to Sunyaz now, because he'll drop mathematics on me. Some of it may go over my head, but sometimes after a while, I'm like, damn, that's what he meant. So
yeah,
shout out to Sunyaz. And he actually
He is a 5%er. He's an OG 5%er.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like big 5%. Yeah, but see, he teaches at the School of Mecca now too, and that's one thing I really admire about him now too, is because he may kick your ass in real life now too, but he'll also teach you knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah, and I'll never be in the same room as that guy ever, because he doesn't need to have a gun to kill me. Yeah,
no,
he has knives. I will never sit in the same room with that guy. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. But episode 101, motherfucking Bitch Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Word. Jessica Lowe, blesses with his presence on here. You know what I'm saying? Word. Y'all remember, Kelly Clarkson, forever. And we'll see y'all next week.
Since you've been gone. And we out.
Since you've been gone.